NASCAR fans, get excited. The Daytona 500 is celebrating its 60th running on February 18th, and TSN wants to take you there. Enter now for your chance to win a VIP trip or two, plus $1,000 in gold hard cash. Experience the excitement of the Daytona 500 up close and personal. Go to TSN at Daytona.ca to enter. NASCAR, Daytona, and TSN, your dream trip away. It's a long and hard road to the 2018 Winter Games, and for this talented field of Canadian coach, this is the next step. Here they go again, saved it. 2017 home hardware virtual war. Playoffs begin Saturday at noon on TSN.
You're watching Player Only on NBA TV, presented by Verizon. We've got the Sacramento Kings, who have gotten off to a bit of a disappointing start, 1-8 on the season, hosting OK3, the Thunder, coming to town, and they've had some heartbreaking defeats this season as well. Yeah, they've lost some close games tonight, but I like the way that Big Three has played well together. They've had Steven Adams, who's benefited from all his space. And they're trying to find some guys to come off the bench, different guys at different times. I like Jeremy Grant, the way he's playing. I think they'll continue to get some more playing time. As far as the Big Three sharing basketball, all three of those guys are averaging about 17 field goal attempts, so they're getting their looks.
Let's roll. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. The Twisted Tuesday has begun. Better late than never. We apologize for the momentary delay. We're ready to rock and roll. Let's do this thing. We got a full house here this evening as well. Joe Lisi's going to join us in a couple of moments. Not the fake Joe Lisi, but the real Joe Lisi will step up and in. A big man on campus on the radar this evening as well. A lot of stuff to get to. It's a sad day in the sports world, specifically in Toronto and Philadelphia, except Doc Holliday is actually, and he's not, that popular of a player, actually, or that respected, that's being felt around the baseball world and the sports world. So RIP to the great Doc Holliday, a player beloved in Philadelphia and Toronto and by the Major League Baseball world. We it's often said when someone passes away what a great guy they were, and not everybody that dies was a great person. Let's be real. Everybody sort of gets wax poetic about once they pass away, but Doc Holliday really was a good guy, great guy with kids and like foundations and charity. A great pitcher as well, only 40 years old. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, man. I don't trust those small planes, man. Planes, commercial planes can crash as well. But if you go down the list, Payne Stewart, golfer, smaller plane. Kennedy, JFK Jr., smaller plane. Buddy Holly, smaller plane. So yeah, sad news. Check out the chat here this evening. Good to see you, Jazz, Shano, Big Will, Ian Cameron, Styles, Tom Marino. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people have referenced Thurman Munson today, former catcher of the New York Yankees, who passed away in his prime. Very, very eerie too. There's Doc. Doc posted a picture on Twitter right before he got into the plane. I think he just got the plane a couple of weeks ago. I don't think he was like an inexperienced pilot. I don't know how long he had a pilot license for. I know he was really into it. Yeah, well, the internet knows no bounds, Big Will. It's not like the internet. The internet respects nothing and nobody. So don't think because people are going to be upset this evening that there'll be no trolls. Anytime there's sports on TV, which is every night, there'll be trolls. So we didn't get a chance to push this out on Twitter. Let's pop this out live. There we go. There's Joe Lisi asking, what does he do? Oh, fuck, I sent him the wrong one. I swear to God, fuck, I stepped out for 1 minute, man. I lost track of time. I'm all discombobulated now. I sent Joe a link to the show, not a I sent a link to the show to Joe, not a link to join us. It can happen. So I see we got big man on campus going to join us. I see we've got Babano, Ian Cameron in the chat here this evening. He'll join us tomorrow night, talk some CFL football. Look forward to it. CFL playoffs are here. What's going on, Babano? Babano definitely rattled by the passing of Doc Holliday. Well, to be honest, the Jays are going to retire number 32 anyways. I mean, yeah, obviously the Jays going to have to do stuff now. The Phillies will probably do something now as well. Both organizations seem to be pretty rocked up by this. Let's be real, though. The Toronto Blue Jays, I mean, who do the Blue Jays have a statue of outside their stadium? I don't believe any players, but they have a statue of Ted Rogers, the owner of the team. He passed away, owner of the team. "40 years young." We say it all the time, man. Life, you don't control. We don't control our own destiny as much as we'd like to. But, as we stated, flying on a small plane, the percentages are higher. Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico. All right. So Joe Lisi, didn't take Joe. I was wondering. I was like, come on, man. What do you mean? What do I have to do? Joe, you're internet savvy. You should be able to figure this out. But I sent Joe Lisi the link to watch the show. Not a link. What's going on, Joe?
I'm watching you rage on a Tuesday night, Gabe. Doesn't get better than that, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I open up. I'm a little bit more subdued this evening due to the passing of Doc Holliday. And I got rattled as far as the time was concerned. I had no idea. I never reset my clocks, Joe, for daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Except I have like a stove clock, a microwave clock. Even my cell phone clock is screwed. So I was talking about this the other night with the guys, that I don't really have any functioning real time in my condo here at all, besides on my computer and on my TV. And I dozed off for a couple of minutes, and I got confused with what time it was. I was like, fuck, man, is it 57? Is it 03? Is it 04? And I realized, I'm like, damn, I'm 3 minutes late. Let's rock and roll. So here we are, Joe. Good to have you on board, buddy.
Anytime, Gabe. Anytime we could talk sports, I love it. It's sad passing about Holiday, like you mentioned. I caught the news a little bit late, so still reading the reports, but too young to leave us too soon.
Yeah, you know what? And I tweeted this out earlier, and I see someone repeating it, Pappin, in the chat right now, that it's often cliched when somebody passes that people wax poetic, especially for any athlete that we don't know, but. You're not going to find anybody that says, oh, man, you know what? Doc Holliday wasn't the best guy. Doc Holliday, everyone has a bad story about somebody, but nobody's ever going to have a bad story about Doc Holliday. Guy's work ethic was second to none. Just a class act all the way through. Real shame. You work as hard as he does. Nobody gave an honest effort as much as this guy did when he showed up for work on a daily basis. And, only to be 40 and not be able to enjoy his retirement, enjoy the money and the time that he had in front of him. Very, very, very disappointing.
It is. And in terms of giving back to the community, he did a lot of great work in any team that he played for. So unfortunately, like you mentioned, 40 years old and gone too soon, can't even enjoy the friends, the family outside the game, especially when you dedicate your whole life to the game that you love. And it's just a shame that he left us too soon.
Joe Lisi with us, the real Joe Lisi. We've had a fake Joe Lisi in the chat in the past. So
I've heard that. So a lot of imitators there, huh?
Yeah, but they're often imitated, never duplicated, Joe. There's only
depends on who you ask, Gabe. I'm divorced, so it all depends on who you ask, right?
Yeah, that's cold. Yeah, we're not going to go down that road. We like to leave that stuff out of this. Actually, I don't want to get depressed, Joe. I don't want to get depressed. So, like I said, me and Joe have been doing TV and radio hits together for years. Joe's been doing videos breaking down college football games for SBR this year. And, me and Joe we hooked up last week in New York together. But the biggest news to come from that, Joe, is the fact that you killed the bug in the studio, that motherfucking gnat, man. I'm going to tell you, for 2 days, it drove me crazy.
I killed that thing on Saturday morning. I was having a cup of coffee, waiting for Rich to get in, and that thing was right in front of my face, Gabe. I took him down, and then as the show went on, we had another one that popped up halfway during the show. Rich and I were all over it throughout the Saturday morning show last weekend.
It's amazing how annoying a little gnat can be.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's why they're called gnats, evidently. All right, so I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You're doing videos, you're doing write-ups. GoForThe2.com is Joe's website. So what did you make of the college rankings 2.0, in which they're the same as the first rankings?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that's surprising to me was like Oklahoma and TCU ahead of an undefeated team in Miami and Wisconsin. I mean, I understand the out-of-conference schedule, but at the end of the day, I mean, these are undefeated teams in Power 5 conferences. How they could put both Big 12 teams above both Miami and Wisconsin, even though they play each other this weekend, I found it very shocking, in my opinion.
That's I can't disagree. Not getting a lot of respect. Ranked 7th right now. The Miami, and even Wisconsin at 9-0. All we keep hearing about Wisconsin hasn't played anybody. Their cupcake schedule. Good point. I was focusing in on the first 4. Oklahoma's a media darling, very similar to Ohio State. Ohio State has to come back against Penn State, and people wanted to put them into playoffs automatically again right away. Right? Oh, they're great. Look, the offense has come together. I kept reading now that JT Barrett can throw the football. And, I was like, man, you guys really want Ohio State to be there. I get it, but they're not. In the end, they're not going to be there. And it seems like Oklahoma's another team that, Oklahoma, basically, it's funny how, I get it. There's a fine line between winning and losing, Joe. But it's amazing to me. Baker Mayfield was basically a minute and a half away from remembering, throwing an interception in the biggest game of his career at Bedlam here, with Oklahoma State winning the game. But Oklahoma State screws it up, as always. Can't even tie the football game, Joe. And then suddenly Mason Rudolph is a front runner for the Heisman, I'm reading after the fact. There's a real fine line between winning and losing in college football. And as well, the inbred sort of, the history of certain teams and programs definitely against precedent. Ohio State and now Oklahoma. The media always loves Oklahoma and wants to push Oklahoma down our throat.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because let's look at the loss to Ohio State against Iowa. They allowed 55 points in Iowa City, and that's really Oklahoma's quality win. I mean, so outside this coming game against TCU, should Oklahoma win, and even though they beat Oklahoma State by 10 points in Bedlam, I mean, at the end of the day, Oklahoma State lost to TCU. So, I mean, you look at their body of work. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, they're pushing. 2 weeks ago, it was J.T. Barrett, 25 touchdowns, 1 interception. He follows that up with a 4-interception performance on the road against a methodical Iowa team. Now it's Baker Mayfield, 598 yards, and they're ahead of a Miami team that's undefeated and has knocked off solid competition like Virginia Tech last weekend.
All right, Joe. So what do you make of the Notre Dame and Miami game, which is clearly a playoff eliminator?
Yeah, that's an intriguing battle, Gabe. I mean, we're about the same age. We grew up with the Catholics versus convicts game. I mean, those games back in the late 80s, early 90s are what made college football. I think when you look at this matchup, I mean, I lean towards Miami here. I like Miami secondary entering this ball game. They're giving up 197 passing yards per game. They have 9 interceptions over the last 3 games now. And the way they were able to really contain Josh Jackson in the pocket, we know Brandon Wimbush is a mobile quarterback, so I give the edge to Miami because of their secondary. I have them winning this ball game 27-20 over Notre Dame, but I think it's a hard-fought game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I'm giving the edge to Notre Dame due to the big game experience. They played a tougher schedule than Miami. They basically played a massive game on a weekly basis, and I think it's going to come into effect here. I believe that both Miami and both Georgia are very vulnerable this week, and right now I'm leaning with Auburn. I haven't placed any bets yet, but I'm leaning with Auburn to beat Georgia. I think the pressure is going to start to get to Georgia as well. I mean, they've already locked in their spot in the title game. Now they have to deal with the pressure of being ranked number 1, being 9-0, going into Auburn. I think it's a very tough spot for Georgia this week as well.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy game. This is the SEC's oldest rivalry game. I mean, they played the first overtime game in SEC history back in 1996. Corey Allen's been on the show. He caught the game-tying touchdown pass against Terry Bowden in 1996. You look at this ball game last year, Georgia did dominate between the hedges, but I agree with you. This is not going to be an easy game for Georgia, or more importantly, Jacob Fromm. They're going to look to really jump up early. Auburn is. Jarrett Stidham, if he can get into a rhythm, really could put the pressure on Georgia's secondary. I'm like you. You're a Michigan fan. I'm a Georgia fan. This game scares me overall. I still like the front 7 of Georgia, but we mentioned it 2 weeks ago on the show. Their lack of quarterback pressures could really catch up with them in this ball game. I'm still going to lean to Georgia here because of the coaching aspect. I think Kirby Smart is a better game planner, even though at this point in his career than Gus Malzahn. I think Georgia wins a close ball game, anywhere from 7 to 10 points, but I'm going my heart here. I like the dogs on the road.
So, of course, Georgia, number 1 in the playoff rankings. Alabama remains number 2. Notre Dame, 3. Clemson, 4. Very interesting point that Joe brings up. Oklahoma and TCU ranked 5, 6. Obviously, they're playing against each other this week, so that's an eliminator right there. I can't disagree, Joe. I would personally have Miami 5, and I would have Wisconsin 6. Out of respect, due to the fact that they haven't lost. Clemson, is Clemson getting too much respect right now, Joe, because they won, because they're defending champion? It's interesting because you're not supposed to get any love for what happened the previous year, right? We're ranking the team this year, but I don't really think that way, and I do agree with giving Clemson a benefit of the doubt, but are we giving Clemson too much of a benefit of the doubt? We seem to debate all these other teams while Clemson just sits there in a 4-hole when they lost to Syracuse.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I think when you look at Clemson's body of work, though, Gabe, in the early part of the season when they faced Lamar Jackson on the road, they faced Josh Jackson on the road. They have quality road wins, and that's the mark of a good team. Not only what you can do at home, but what you can do on the road. We mentioned teams like Oklahoma and Ohio State that seem to get love, even Alabama. I mean, Alabama gets love each and every year, and we keep forgetting they didn't even win the national championship last year. It was Clemson, so I I think you have to give the Tigers respect, even though they lost that ball game to Syracuse. I still think this is the most complete defensive unit in college football right now. You look at Alabama entering this ball game against Mississippi State. They do have a lot of injuries. Keep an eye out for that ball game. In my opinion, they got beat up by LSU in that ball game in Tuscaloosa. Even though they won that matchup by 14 points, from an injury perspective, they were worn down by the Tigers in that ball game.
I think Alabama, and we see this on a yearly basis, in which, I don't think the SEC is that great, right? It's okay. It's overrated. It's top heavy. I'm not going to dispute they produce the most NFL talent, but top to bottom, it's not by far. It's not the best conference.
Right.
So I think Alabama gets there. They get to the playoffs, but then it's a problem for them. They're able to score against Clemson, but Alabama's just a little bit too offensively challenged for me at times in the big picture. Very dangerous team, could beat anybody, but I'm not ready just to hand the national championship to Alabama right now. And as far as Wisconsin is concerned, they get Iowa, they get Michigan, they get the Big Ten championship game. If Wisconsin runs the table, they will be in the Final Four. They will be a playoff team. There's no disputing it.
Right.
They're a good football team, too. Yeah, I get it. The schedule, that's the way it came up this year. That's the way the schedule came up as far as them not playing the powers of the Big Ten until potentially the Big Ten championship game. But I don't hold that against them. I mean, did they schedule Utah State and FAU? Okay, yes, they did. But at the same point in time, a Big Ten schedule is a Big Ten schedule. They run the table, they're in.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we're talking about a Wisconsin team that was in the Big Ten championship game last year against Penn State. So I think that love will carry through should the Badgers win out and really run the table and win the Big Ten championship game. I think they do have a tough ball game. Not this weekend so much. I think it does come 2 weeks from now against your Michigan Wolverines. The way Michigan's running the football, put up 371 rushing yards against Minnesota, 334 over Rutgers. They're pounding the rock, and I really think that factors into that ball game against Wisconsin. So we'll see how that plays out in a couple of weeks. But I agree with you. If Wisconsin does run the table, they deserve to be a top 4 team in the country.
All right, Joe. So what do you make of the TCU-Oklahoma game? I was speaking with Paul Bovey earlier in the week, and Paul told me he's already jumped on TCU in this football game. He likes Texas Christian plus the points because of the defense.
Yeah, I would take Oklahoma and Baker Mayfield here. I'm not sold on Kenny Hill in this spot on the road. I know he stepped up last week against Texas. Again, a solid Texas team, but we saw him 2 weeks ago on the road against a methodical Iowa State team. Now, we were on Iowa State 2 weeks ago, but Iowa State's not a dominant defense, and by any stretch, they're a more methodical offense with a really ball control type of attack. I think if Baker Mayfield and that offense jump up early at home, I think it's going to put pressure on TCU. TCU over the last few years has played Oklahoma very tough. They match up very well on them. But I just think that Oklahoma in this ball game, in this game right here, matches up very well. I would lay the points with the Sooners at home.
Yeah, Joe, I always have a hard time as well. Obviously, Oklahoma, I don't know, maybe Oklahoma's reputation in big games is a little bit unfair because they play in a lot of big games. So you can't hold it against them for losing sometimes. But I do have a problem fully trusting Ken Hill on a weekly basis. But he's proved us wrong pretty much, Joe. You and I talk every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I'm always concerned about this kid. I like Patterson in a big game getting points in a situation like this. But I do agree, if the wheels fall off and Oklahoma's offense starts churning, TCU could have a hard time playing catch-up.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, even from the Vegas angle of the line, I mean, you have a first-year head coach in Lincoln Riley going up against Gary Patterson, a more experienced head coach that has more big game experience. So from the Vegas angle, you would think the line would be anywhere in the area of 4 or 5 points. I think it's a very hefty line for this type of matchup, 5 versus 6. So that being stated, that's the Vegas angle. I just think the more complete team is Oklahoma with the better quarterback. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, 598 passing yards against a very solid Oklahoma State defense. I mean, not a dynamic defense, but this was still a rock-solid defense that was holding opposing offenses entering that ballgame to right around 125 rushing yards per game for the amount of offensive output. That was a solid effort on the road in Stillwater last weekend.
Nobody's talking about the Washington Huskies, Joe. They're 8-1. They're ranked 9th in the playoff rankings. They've just sort of been discounted. And USC's overrated, but we don't have time to pick apart every team in the rankings. USC's overrated at 11 here. I don't understand that. But nevertheless, Washington at 8-1. Is there any chance, or is the Pac-12 just out of this thing? Like, nobody's talking about Washington at all. People are talking about 2 SEC teams. We're going to have the ACC situation with Clemson and Miami. One of them is going to lose again because they're potentially going to play each other in the ACC championship game. Oklahoma, TCU, one of them are going to be out of the way. Wisconsin is going to be just fine if they run the table, but what about the Washington Huskies? Do they have a shot of getting in the 4, do you think?
Yeah, they do. I mean, I think when you look at it overall, it's going to come down to the one thing that hurt Washington was Stanford losing to Washington State last week. If they did have 2 losses, I think the media angle would have loved Bryce Love and the Stanford Cardinal team. But they got dominated by Washington last year in Seattle. I think this is still bad matchup for the Cardinal in this ballgame. I think if Washington runs the table, beats Washington State in the Apple Cup, and then somehow, some way faces USC in the Pac-12 championship game and could dominate them from last year. Keep in mind, this was the game that Jake Browning got abused in Seattle. USC, I think they sacked him, 6 or 8 times in that ball game. So, again, if they can revenge that game from last year and dominate USC in a Pac-12 championship game and have the other top 5 teams lose in some way, shape, or form, the door is wide open. I mean, we could see a possible 3-loss team make the top 4. But I mean, what happens if Alabama loses to Mississippi State? They win against Auburn, but then lose the SEC championship game. Alabama could have 2 losses. What happens then? I mean, the door is wide open to who they lose to in Georgia. Georgia could lose to Auburn this week. They could lose to Georgia Tech, still win the SEC championship game. I mean, crazier things have happened in the month of November.
No, you're exactly right, Joe. I'm not. People always get very worked up about the rankings, and I get it. It's interesting for guys like you and I to talk about. But the first 4 is rarely the last 4, and there could be a lot of chaos. Auburn holds the key to this chaos. Actually, Auburn holds the key to the chaos. They beat Georgia. It twists things up because Georgia's going to the SEC championship game anyways. So that twists things up right there. And could conceivably just knock Georgia out of this little fantasy about, because everyone's like, oh, Georgia's already in the game. They're going to lose that game and they're going to be in. Well, stuff can happen before that. And, there's no free passes, especially if Alabama loses before that. So, Auburn holds the key. They beat Georgia. They beat Alabama. Everything gets turned upside down, Joe. That's just one scenario with one team in Auburn that really could just pull the carpet out from underneath this playoff picture.
Yeah, great point. And another team that would really benefit from Armageddon is Notre Dame. I mean, if they take care of business, you look at their schedule, if they were to run the table the rest of the way, I mean, their only loss would be to 1 point to Georgia. So if Auburn can knock off Georgia, knock off Alabama, somehow, some way win the SEC championship game, they're a 2-loss SEC team heading into the ball game. You have a team like Miami that still has tough games ahead. Wisconsin could possibly lose to Michigan, still make the Big Ten championship game, could lose to the other side. And then what do we have then? I mean, we would have 2 or 3 loss teams that could possibly make the playoff, and then everybody would be complaining 6, 8, 10 teams deserve to be in. I mean, it's crazy if the month of November plays out the way it possibly can, the way it did last year.
We got people in the chat saying, "Oh, Wisconsin are no good. They haven't played anybody." Because their schedule is what it is, it doesn't mean that they're no good.
Right.
It's preposterous. We'll find out how good this Wisconsin team is in the big picture over the next couple of weeks. But to say that they're no good because they haven't played anybody, they've fucking smashed everybody that they've played. I know they were down 10-0 once to Utah State. And, 10-10 to Indiana, quick 10. But, you look at their scores, Joe. They're kicking the crap out of teams. They're dominating teams. That's like a fighter that, it's like saying, oh, Anthony Joshua's no good. He hasn't beaten anyone. Well, he's the heavyweight champion. And he's beating the shit out of everyone he's fought. Right? So I'm not sitting here telling people Wisconsin are the greatest college football team ever.
Right.
But I think it's pretty idiotic to say that they're no good.
Well, yeah.
You know, that's ridiculous.
No, you're right. And I think the one thing that you could look at because of the amount of teams in college football, Gabe, is there's parity in college football. You could look at Alabama. I mean, where's Alabama's marquee victory at this point? I mean, yeah, they beat
State. Exactly.
Right. They beat LSU last week, but when you look at the level of competition entering that ball game against LSU, they were 5-0 against the SEC opponents and won those games by 39.2 points per game. I mean, their best win was against Texas A&M in the SEC prior to LSU. So you can look at every single team that way and say, break it down. Where's their quality of wins on their schedule? That's why I think it is a body of work. We'll see how it plays out. And conference championships do matter, especially if you're playing a team with one loss. If you knock off a one-loss team in a conference championship, I don't care who it is, that holds weight in terms of the committee. So we'll see, because you look at the Pac-12 championship game, if Washington knocks off a two-loss USC team, that's really not going to benefit them in any way, shape, or form.
Joe Lisi, go for the two.com. So, Joe, I busted your balls because Joe Lisi, listen, Joe is fired up tonight. I'm sure he's disturbed right now. He's like, fuck, Morenci's cutting in. I'm watching this Akron-Miami game, you know? I got money on the game.
I'm rooting in my friend Terry Bowden. Doesn't look like they'll become bowl eligible tonight, but we'll see. Yo.
Hopefully they get the cover here. I know, great stuff getting man, you guys have been on fire with the great guest, Avon Colburn, on the other night. You know, Avon Colburn actually played for the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL.
I know he was a coach with Saskatchewan, and don't get you wrong, I follow CFL football. We were talking about Jeremiah Masoli a couple of weeks ago when we were talking on Twitter. I mean, my favorite all-time running back in the CFL was a former Georgia Bulldog for the Montreal Alouettes, Robert Edwards. I believe I believe, in fact, Gabe, and I've said this last year, he's the only NFL and CFL player to rush for 1,000 yards. I mean, you have to double check that, but he did rush for 1,000 yards with the Miami Dolphins, with the New England Patriots in his rookie year.
I was going to say, what about Ricky Williams? Did he ever rush for 1,000 yards in the CFL?
Nope, not with Toronto. He did not. So it was Robert Edwards there. It was in Montreal when they made it to the Grey Cup with Anthony. No,
I covered them. I used to be the Anthony Covillo. I used to be the I used to do the Alouette games. I used to have like a show. I used to cover the Alouettes in those days. And Robert Edwards, a great story. I mean, remember he shredded his knee, right? Remember wasn't he the one who shredded his knee on the beach?
Yep.
And at the Pro Bowl, like playing in the beach football, like.
Yep, 1998.
Exactly. So, guys in the NFL career, shreds his knee at the Pro Bowl, fucking playing in one of these charity football on the beach deals. Basically, he's told, you're never playing football again. Your knee's that bad. You're never playing football again. You're a running back. Comes all the way back, plays in the CFL after, actually. Pretty good career.
Yeah.
The Montreal Alouettes, we had some great running backs. Mike Pringle's a hell of a running back in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah. How about Tony Stewart from Calgary back in the day? Remember him with Iowa? I used to love them. And Jeff Garcia when he played. We can't,
we got to bring up, may he rest in peace as well, Lawrence Phillips.
Yeah.
Lawrence Phillips. I used to hang around with the Alouettes. Because I'm I'm like you, Joe, I'm a college football junkie. So all these guys in the CFL, people in Montreal, there was like two beat writers, right?
Right.
They didn't follow NCAA that closely. You know what I'm saying? So I would bring up to the guy, like David Duval was funny, man. Remember David Duval, the kicker, the former Auburn Tiger? Me and my boy Cam Stewart were doing a live show. Cam looks over. He's like, I don't want to, bring this up, man. But he goes, you cost me a lot of money once when you missed 2 field goals against Georgia. And Buddy's like, I didn't miss 2 field goals against Georgia. And Cam's like, yeah, you did, man. They start getting into it and stuff. He's like,
did they really?
Yeah, he's like, Duval's a good guy, though. He's like, one of them was blocked, man. I didn't miss. It was blocked. So they're going back and forth. Fucking gold. But Lawrence Phillips won a Grey Cup when he was in the Canadian Football League. You know where it goes back to? Remember, I think it was a Heisman Trophy in 1974, Johnny Rodgers, Nebraska. And Johnny Rodgers Johnny Rogers chose the CFL. There used to be a time when players would like say, you know what, fuck the NFL. I'm going to go into CFL. Johnny Rogers got offered like $100,000, I think, by the Eagles.
Wow.
And, you know, it was mandatory. All right, we're going to draft you. You're going to get $100,000, $150,000, whatever. And meanwhile, the Montreal Alouettes are like, hey, we'll pay you $300,000 a year. And he goes, yeah, let me get a passport and I'm coming.
Right.
What a great cup. Marv Levy was the coach.
Wow, back in the day. Right?
Yeah, and it's funny. I know you got to go, Joe, but the last thing, you know, Rocket Ishmael, I had Rocket Ishmael on my show, and I said, so what's the deal with, you know, with you ending up with the Toronto Argonauts? And same thing. He goes, you know, I was going to be the third pick in the NFL draft, basically. And he said, Al Davis told me, son, I'm going to draft you, and you're going to be a Raider. And he said, I was down with that. But in the NFL, though, it was the set salaries. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he goes, I would have gotten like, you know, $450,000 a year or something. He goes, basically, it was a 3-year deal for like $1.2 million in the entry deal in the NFL. And he goes, the next day, basically, Wayne Gretzky, John Candy, and Bruce McNall, the owner of the LA Kings, show up on a private plane and tell him, how does $1 million a year sound?
Wow.
And he said, yeah, it sounds a lot better than the Raiders' money. So he's not in Toronto. Well, it's funny, like, there was a day when the Canadian Football League used to throw money around, right? They used to know the spots, and they used to see vulnerable younger guys that wanted the money and say, yeah, why get ripped off in the NFL, kid? You can go to the NFL after. We'll pay you more money now. Right.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, I've watched the CFL back in the day. I mean, Blair Keel, when he was with Winnipeg, back when I was growing up as a kid, you know, I mean, that was what I remember. You know, Blair Keel played for Winnipeg Jets, right, back in the day?
Yeah.
You know, and I told you, Danny McManus.
Bombers.
Yeah, Winnipeg Blue Bombers, right. I'm out of it. But Danny McManus from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, my favorite Florida State running back of all time, quarterback of all time. Yeah, I loved him. Back in the day when he played for Florida State and Bobby Bowden, I mean, those are the guys. I mean, guys that couldn't make it in the NFL that went to the CFL and vice versa. Great league. I mean, I still watch it to this day. It's entertaining. Yeah, the playoffs are this weekend. Playoffs start this weekend. We're going to be going to the game in 2 weeks, actually. Which game are you going to, Montreal? Toronto Argonauts. Toronto Argonauts. Argonauts. They host the Eastern Division Final. It's a beautiful thing about a 9-team league. You only got to win one game. You get a bye week, you win one game, and you're into the championship. That's great. But I tell you what, how about this, Joe? Yesterday, we're talking about the CFL, and some guy tweeted me, and he said, you know, Morency, NFL teams should have their third-string quarterbacks playing in the CFL, you know, to develop. And I responded back to the guy. I said, the CFL is not a fucking minor league for the NFL. Right. Let the NFL find their own quarterbacks. Like, the CFL is not some joke. No. That, we're just here for the NFL's amusement. It's like, Joe Pesci, what do I amuse you? It's like, you know what I mean? You know, so I tweeted back to the guy. It's funny. I tweeted back and I said, nah, man. I said, the CFL is not a developmental league for the NFL. Let the NFL find their own quarterbacks. And of all people, Joe Theismann, the real Joe Theismann, right, jumps in the conversation. Really? Yeah, on Twitter. And he's like, damn right, the CFL is not a developmental league. The CFL is a great league with different rules with the NFL. Right. And I'm thinking, what's this? I got fake Joe Lisi's and fake Joe Theismann's. No, Twitter verified Joe Theismann. Oh, my God. So Joe's like tweeting back about the CFL, go Argos and shit, because Joe's a former Argonaut. Right, he is. Notre Dame. He played for the Toronto Argonauts. So then, you know, Joe, I got cocky, and I'm like, hey, Joe, love to have you on the TV show sometime. No response then, though. Well, I got his contact information. I got his publicist, so maybe we can get him on. He was supposed to come on for our show when Notre Dame played USC. We were trying to, and I think he was traveling to the game. I really liked his work. I really liked his work, Joe, on TV. I'm not just saying that either. I thought he was a great analyst. I thought he was a great analyst. I thought so too. I I thought it was legit. I really like Joe Theismann. Even Pat Hayden back in the day when he covered.
Pat Hayden, growing up, I grew up on Pat Hayden doing CBS.
Yeah. So I mean, for that's what we remember growing up. I'll still say it for you. I know you grow up a college football fan. My favorite all-time announcers for play-by-play: Gary Bender and Brent Musburger, of course, Keith Jackson. But I mean, Gary Bender for ABC Sports back in the day was a very underrated broadcaster. So
Keith Jackson's obviously Keith's like the Vince Scully of it. Right. Whoa, Nelly! Like that's the voice I call. Like when you're growing up for me, like I remember I get goosebumps right now. Like you being 10, like welcome to Pasadena and the San Gabriel Mountains. It's the USC Trojans and the Michigan Wolverines in the Rose Bowl.
Right.
It's great stuff, man.
But how about Musburger when he was with CBS, not even ABC or ESPN? When Musburger in 1985, and you're going to hate this, when he called the victory over Iowa over Michigan, with Rob Houtland with the field goal. I mean that game. I mean
Musburger did it all. Musburger did it all, man. I remember growing up, CBS Sports Saturday, Musburger was doing NASCAR. Yeah. The old Winston Cup days and shit. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome to CBS NASCAR coverage.
Well, how about the NFL today with Irv Cross back in the day?
Oh, yeah, that was great shit. Well, you remember, you know what's funny? Only you'll remember this, not only you, but real football junkies. I remember Jimmy the Greek. So you had Phyllis George.
Right.
So Phyllis George is the first female, football chick on TV.
Right.
And I don't know if you ever watched CNN at all, but Pamela Brown.
Yep.
That's Phyllis George's daughter, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, Pamela Brown, CNN Pentagon correspondent.
Right.
Yeah, investigative. She's pretty good, pretty hot. She's very hot too, actually.
Right.
Like that Pamela Brown, she's like true beauty, not just like a bimbo anchor.
Right.
So yeah, Phyllis George, but you had Irv Cross, Phyllis George, and Jimmy the Greek, right? So Jimmy the Greek was the big gambling guy.
Right.
And who was the fighting Brent Musburger? So Jimmy the Greek's big gambling guy, but I was always partial to the NBC show with my man Pete Axthelm.
Oh, Pete Axthelm was the doctor. Remember Pete Axthelm?
Pete Axthelm, actually, like I said, Jimmy the Greek, I got the feeling Jimmy wasn't really betting. It was all a shtick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hi, I'm Jimmy the Greek. I once bet. Hey, I'm from Ohio. Right. You know what I mean? I got the feeling like Pete Axthelm was like, fuck, I got $8,000 on the Bengals. Like, he used to get mad. I remember even as a kid, I was like, man, this guy's into his picks, man. Like Pete Axthelm would actually, like, Bob Costas would be like, all right, we go to Pete Axthelm for the plays of the day.
Right.
And he'd be like, all right, thanks, Bob. But before I get to my plays, I just want to talk about the Dolphins from last week. And it really screwed me. It's like, I was like, I like this Pete Axthelm guy. He's bitter.
Well,
and he used to write in, remember the magazine, Inside Sport.
Yep.
Most kids are getting comics and shit, man. I used to take my money and go buy Inside Sport magazine. I still have an Inside Sport, Joe, of Shane Conlon on the cover, Penn State linebacker.
Yep.
And it said, linebacker you. Where's he going to end up? Ended up with my Buffalo Bills, of course. Great fucking linebacker, Shane Conlon.
Right. He ripped up his shoulder. You want to hear a funny story? No, I'm going to tell you. I grew up I know you're an MMA and you like fighting, right? So I grew up, I'm a huge boxing fan back in the day. I'm talking Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler.
I love that. That's my days too.
All right. So Marvin Hagler was my favorite all-time fighter. And then obviously it was Mike Tyson and as we got on. But I go to a fight with my father in 1985, 1986. I'm in high school. I go to watch Marvin Hagler versus Mustafa Hamsho at the Garden. Okay, my dad gets all right. So Mustafa Hamsho, I think, was from Iran or Iraq. One of those. I forget where it was from. So he calls out Hagler. So we're sitting ringside. My dad got the tickets. We're sitting ringside. Over to our left, right behind the HBO booth, is O.J. Simpson, Jimmy the Greek, and okay. And
who's the third guy?
Okay, it's Jimmy the Greek, O.J. Simpson, and next to him is Sugar Ray Leonard.
All right, so at least Sugar Ray's the only one that's not disgraced between the three of them.
Right. So Sugar Ray Leonard's behind them, right? So we go over, we have the program, and I still have this program. I'll bring it in next time I see you. I'll bring it into the studio. on the cover, we get it signed. So my father goes to Jimmy the Greek. He goes, hey, give me a couple of picks for this weekend, right? He puts down Oakland and San Francisco in the I'll show it to you, right? Do you know they both won?
They both won.
Wow. They both won. Oakland and San Francisco. You look at the day.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. They both won.
Nicest guy. O.J. Simpson, nicest guy too back in the day. I mean, and Sugar Ray Leonard was awesome. I mean, you're talking about the pinnacle of boxing. You're talking Tommy Burns. You're talking Kronk. You're talking, what it was all about.
From Montreal, Joe. So 1976 Olympics. Sugar Ray Leonard. Leon Spinks, boxers, right? I mean, don't forget Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. The first fight, where was that? Olympic Stadium, Montreal.
Right.
That I don't know. Boxing town. Right. Yeah, those were the days. Remember boxing? I remember as a kid. I hate to admit it, but I was cheering for Larry Holmes against Muhammad Ali. Fuck, it's almost one of those things you're embarrassed to admit. But I was actually one of the few kids in the movie theater who was cheering for Apollo Creed over Rocky.
I liked Apollo too.
Yeah. I liked him. Even as a kid, I remember I was in the theater and I walked out. I told my mother, I said, that guy would have no chance against Apollo Creed in real life. I was like, Mom, he's just some guy in a meat factory. I was like, he's not an elite boxer.
Right. Well, growing up Italian, obviously Rocky, but I like Clubber Lang growing. Clubber Lang.
I had him on my show. I had Carl Weathers on my show. One of the coolest things ever. I told him, I said, man, I fucking love you, Apollo. Man, I told him, I said, when you died, dude, like it was fucking, I said, man, that was rough, dude. Like
he was a linebacker for the Raiders back in the day, wasn't he?
Carl Weathers, I think he played briefly in the CFL, actually, Weathers.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you
a lot of good actors, like The Rock. The Rock was going to play for the Calgary Stampeders.
Right.
And he was going to make the team. And Wally Buono, CFL legend coach, pulled Dwayne Johnson, former Miami Hurricane, pulled Dwayne aside. He goes, listen, kid. He goes, I know you don't want to be a wrestler because like Rock's family was all wrestlers, right? So he's like, I know you don't want to be a wrestler and you want to make your own path, but he goes, I gotta be honest with you, you're really not that good at this football. and he goes, well, what do you mean? I'm going to make the team, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you're not going to play. He goes, to be honest, you'll be in the league for a few years. You'll be a backup and you're not going to make a lot of money. And so Wally Buono told him, he goes, kid, you got to wrestle. You were born to wrestle. Don't run from who you are type of thing. And he's like, I really want to play football. And Wally Buono said, you know what? You're cut.
Really?
Yeah, you're done. And not in a bad way, basically. Basically, he saw that there was something about this kid and it wasn't in the CFL. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he told him, this isn't your destiny, basically. You're not. Why do you want to be here? It's just some schmuck on the Calgary Stampeders.
Right.
And look at Dwayne Johnson now, one of the biggest earners in Hollywood history. And he tells that story.
Does he?
Wally Buono pulling him aside. It's amazing. We could talk sports all night with you, Joe. I know you're busy, so we'll let you go. But, CFL, baby. Kurt Warner tried out for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and got rejected.
And then he went to
no. They told him, no, you know what? No, I don't think so. Fuck. Then he got signed by the Rams.
Right. But you know what, though, too? I'll tell you this, and I've heard this from a lot of arena guys, because I know a lot of arena guys, too. Corey Fleming from Tennessee. He said that it made him a better wide receiver because of the game was so short.
Yeah.
That not only the quarterbacks had to make quicker decisions, but the wide receivers had to run more precise routes because of how condensed the field was. And a lot of guys moved on to the NFL outside of that because they learned how to run routes more precise. And more importantly, quarterbacks knew how to throw the football through tighter windows playing in the Arena League. So it goes both ways. I mean, I agree with you. I love the Arena League. I think it's a niche, but I agree with you as well. CFL is not an NFL developmental league. It is its own entity. It deserves its own game and the stars that make that game special. So,
Kurt Warner, you're right. Our Iowa Barnstormers, Kurt Warner, he credited the Arena League with the quick decisions, the quick outs, the quick release. And you know who's an Arena Football League legend, Joe?
Which one? Who?
Jay Gruden.
Yeah, Jay
Jay
Gruden,
Gruden's
right.
like a multiple champion quarterback.
Right.
He's an AFL legend as a quarterback.
Right.
Like Jay
Right.
Gruden was the fucking man. Orlando Predators.
Yep.
Like I remember betting. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't like having my money against Jay Gruden. But like this guy's man. Aaron Garcia was another great quarterback in your backyard.
You're
New York
right.
Dragons.
Yeah, when he was there. You're right. And Andy Kelly. Andy Kelly.
Tennessee, fucking right, man. Dallas Desperados, Andy Kelly.
Right. He also
Tony Graziani.
Right.
Remember Tony Graziani, Oregon Duck, Atlanta Falcon? The Arena Football League had a run where they were paying quarterbacks $500,000 a year, and they were getting decent quarterbacks. But look at Jay Gruden's play calling with the Redskins and that offense. It's fucking good. You know, they don't always execute it, but I swear, watch a Redskin game. Wide receivers are always open. Jay Gruden's got good fucking schemes, man, and it's from the Arena League.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. I used to tape the Arena League. That's how crazy I was when I first started back in the late 80s or early 90s. I mean, it's been around for a long time. When it was on ESPN, I used to tape those games because it's just a different type of game of football that we just grew up with. And I agree with you. You see it, the progression on the NFL level and multiple coaches, players, doesn't get better than that when you think about it.
All right, Joe, we could talk all night, buddy. It's always a pleasure talking football and sports with you. We'll speak on Thursday on the Fantasy Sports Television Network. Joe will have a bunch of game-by-game breakdowns right here on SBR with Drew Martin. I didn't know Drew was an Auburn guy.
Yeah, big Auburn guy. He must be excited this Saturday. That's for sure.
Yeah, we got to get Drew Martin on sometime. He's like the straight guy of SBR, right? Jimmy the Bag. I don't know. Jimmy the Bag's doing hookers on videos and shit. And Drew Martin's the proper golf shirts. And we're talking.
Oh, you're crazy. You're great. I love you, Gabe. I love you.
I love you too, Joe.
Always a pleasure, my friend. I'll talk to you on Thursday. Have a great night.
See you later, Joe.
All right, be good.
This is Joe Lisi. I love talking football with guys like Joe Lisi because I know, he knows what we're talking about here. I hate to do it. I look in the chat. I basically disagree with everything Tom Marino says. I see Tom Marino saying Wisconsin's not a top 50 team. Yeah, because there's 49 fucking teams in college football better than the Wisconsin Badgers right now. Come on, Tom Marino. They're not a top 50 team. I'm not going to. It's always debatable. Announcers are debatable. So if you don't like Joe Theismann, you don't like Joe Theismann. I thought Joe Theismann was a great analyst on TV. He was great on Sunday Night Football. I thought he was great with Notre Dame football. And the real reason Joe Theismann's not on TV is because he's a jerk. That's the real reason Joe Theismann's not on TV. Joe Theismann just sort of, he sort of Rick Barried his way out of things. Joe Theismann had a lot of attitude behind the scenes. Hey, I'll tell you, Joe Lisi's not scared. I'll be honest with you, though, because I used to think, too. I used to think Joe Lisi, I'd be like, man, Joe Lisi's telling me, LSU is going to win by fucking 10 against Alabama and shit. And I'm like, man, this guy's just throwing this shit out there. The thing is, though, no one knows college football like Joe Lisi. The guy fucking lives and breathes it. He's like a good-looking Phil Steele, fuck. So, like Joe loves college football. So I used to think, well, he just loves the games and he's picking predictions and shit. But Joe's actually betting this shit. Joe's not a degenerate gambler like you guys are, like I am. He's not like us. He's not a degenerate gambler, Joe. But Joe bets. I was with Joe last week, and he was showing me shit. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, I bet this. I got these guys. I got too cocky. I shouldn't have taken these guys. But Joe's not scared to swing for the fences. See, Joe Lisi is smart. Joe will bet a little bit, but his life doesn't depend on it like we do. Come on, Wisconsin are a top 10 team, Tom Marino. They're better than top 25. You guys with the Breakers, fuck. The Breakers aren't playing. Is this like the new thing Upset Morency with the Breakers stuff. The Breakers aren't playing. The Breakers play on, I think it's tomorrow night, guys, right? They play Thursday in Australia, so that's Wednesday tomorrow. Well, every night, guys are like, hey, Morency, you like the Breakers? And even I fall for it. I'm like, oh, what, the Breakers? And I'm like, they're not playing tonight. For the record, I'm ordering a Breaker jersey, though. I was on their website the other night. It's $100. It's $99 Canadian for a New Zealand Breaker jersey. And it's $20 delivery charge. $120 delivery included. 2 to 4 weeks. It's actually coming from New Zealand. I love that. You guys, hey, Morency, you taking a Breakers time? Like, they're not playing. And what, you know what? One thing, too, if you guys noticed, yeah, you're hearing things, Brooks. I got some lemonade here. Although, Brooks, you're going to be impressed. Look. I was over at Pizza Nova earlier tonight getting my standard double cheese medium pizza for dinner. And you know what? I saw the Caesar salad. We were talking about salad. So look at this, Brooks. This is the first time. This is the first salad. This is the first time a salad's ever been in this fridge. It's a virgin. I'm not kidding. I've lived here 2.5 years. I've never had salad in this fridge. I don't eat salad. This is the first salad that I've eaten probably in about 7 or 8 years. Now, I got to be honest with you. As you see, I didn't eat much of it. It was stuffed to the top. So it was stuffed in a plastic. So I ate that much and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, man, I'm not a rabbit. I can't eat this anymore. It's like, God. Now, I was going along fine, but I'll be honest with you. I ran out of this. I ran out of this. So I'm saving the rest of the salad, and tomorrow at the store, I'm going to buy a whole bottle of that fucking orange 1,000-mile dressing shit. I'm just going to drench the shit. I like that orange shit on salad. I can do that. So the thing is, once I ran out of the sauce, I couldn't eat the rest of the salad. There was cheese on top and shit. So I don't like these fucking breadcrumb things either, man. It's like, fuck, man. See, I'm not down. When people say about greens, when they're talking about greens, I prefer these greens. I prefer those type of greens, or maybe these type of greens. Like, basically, I like everything green except fucking salad. Greek salad's good. I like that cheese, the feta cheese. All right, yeah, Chaz. All right, you want to see me? Here, look at this. This is me eating lettuce. All right, look. It's like fucking video proof. I'll get a nice piece here, nice little couple pieces. Look. It's like fucking chewing on a fucking, like, it's like fucking someone's lawn. Fuck. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Give me a choke. Eat some Smarties ASAP. It's fucking rough, man. Like I said, with that orange shit on top, it'd be all right. I'm not exaggerating. Like, it feels like I'm eating fucking garbage. Ugh. Oh, man. Like, people fucking like this shit, fuck, evidently. The only salad I eat is a little lettuce in Taco Bell. And I got to be honest, I even tell them often at Taco Bell, no lettuce. You should see me ordering a shawarma. They're like, all dressed. I'm like, no lettuce. They're like, beets. I'm like, don't put beets in that. I don't eat beets. I think they think I'm racist. Fuck. I tell them I don't want anything. I think they go to a Middle East place and I'm like, no, I'm not eating that. No. I always look with disdain too. They're like this. I'm like, they're always shocked. They're like, what do you want in your sandwich? I'm like, just put the fucking hummus, garlic sauce, and hot sauce and the chicken. No lettuce. And they're all automatically, it's like you go to Subway, man, they put a handful of lettuce. I'm not a rabbit. I don't want your fucking lettuce, fuck. I'm 47 years old. I've lived fucking fine without lettuce in my life. Look at me. I'm fine. I'm a picture of health. I should be in the fucking Olympics. I'm lying. I'm not a picture of health, and I'm not fine. I can't be in the Olympics, but let me put my salad back in the fridge. I just thought you guys would enjoy the salad. Now we're talking food groups. Look, I've eaten poorly for 47 years. There's no turning back now. It fucks my system up. I'm going to get sick now because of that. I'm going to wash back that salad with a Mae West, fuck. Moon pie. Like that. I have a little fucking, like that. I have a little salad. I got to wash the salad back with lemonade. I'm like, oh God, fuck. Let me wash that down. Yeah. A Mae West a day keeps the doctor away. This might be the best cake ever made. Yeah, this might be the best motherfucking cake ever made, man. Fuck, I'm getting hungry now. That salad just made me hungry. Yeah, Drake's coffee cake, the last one. Moon pie. I never had a moon pie. Oh, those half moons are great. I'm a big half moon fan, Gino. Settle down, Jazz. I told you, I don't feel so well recently, Jazz. I have had a lot of chest pains recently. I used to have the half moon before every hockey game. I used to show up to the arena early when I was a goalie. I used to show up to the arena early. I'd have a half moon and a Pepsi fuck in the stands. I'd have a few half moons. I'm not going to lie. In Quebec, where I'm from, this is lunch. Jazz can attest to this. This is true. I'm from Quebec. This is lunch in Quebec. A can of Pepsi and a fucking May West, and you're good to go. That's lunch. You can take the boy out of Quebec, but you know what? Quebec still lives right here. Yeah, no, this can be a breakfast as well. This is a Quebec breakfast. It's not a Quebec dinner. It's a Quebec dessert. It can be a Quebec breakfast, Quebec lunch, or a Quebec dessert after dinner, after your hot dog and poutine. Yeah, May West poutine and a Pepsi. Yeah, I got a Mark Stone. In Canada, they've got these NHL collectible cans. No, Rich Banks, the term Canuck is not offensive. It's the term Canuck came from Bob and Doug McKenzie. You crazy Canuck. No, Canuck's not offensive. Calling someone a frog in Quebec that is offensive. Canuck is not offensive, no. No. You can call me a Canuck all you want, Rich Brooks. In fact, the Canadian downhill ski team, Rich Brooks, in the Olympics years ago were called the Crazy Canucks because they were fucking nuts. Like, Newfie is offensive. Yes. Newfie is offensive. It is. They don't, no. You can't say that. You know what, though? You know, it sort of is redneck offensive. You know what I mean? Like, people in the South probably don't like being called rednecks, you know? You know, it's sort of like frog. Frog is racist, though. Not racist, but offensive. Like, you get into that, well, French people aren't a skin color, but no, it's offensive. Like, it is. No, yeah, like the people from Newfoundland they're not down with that. You'll get punched and you could get punched for that. All right, so Big Man on Campus will join us in a couple of minutes. I swear to God, I started the show 3 minutes late. I got fucking rattled with the time. We're on the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers rolling right now. You know what's amazing is, so Sacramento And they were down like 18-5. I was talking with Joe Lisi. I'm looking, and I see it's like 10-0, 13-0, 18-5, 25-10. I don't know what the hell happened here with Sacramento. Yeah, it was 25-10 after the first quarter of play. And the Sacramento Kings outscored them 32-16 in the second. It's 42-41 for Sacramento right now. Wow, Oklahoma City blowing. All right, we get you some second half numbers. NHL scores. Busy night in the NHL tonight. We gave the Montreal Canadiens this evening. Canadians in regulation. I gave this earlier today, minus 130 on game time decisions today. You know, Justin P was talking about, hey, Morency, you don't talk enough hockey. I'm back to hockey, man. Fuck NFL football. It's bet hockey. Tired of losing on this bullshit. You know what's nice? Under. Motherfucking right, man. Under 6 plus 100. I told people today. These games are starting to go under. All these games are going over in the NHL, man. They're setting the totals at 6 and 6.5 and stuff. They're too high. This goalie, what's his name? Lindbergh? What's the guy's name? Lindbergh? Charlie Lindbergh? The Lindbergh Charles? Las Vegas has been on the road for a while. Edmonton Oilers beat the Islanders in overtime. Pittsburgh, booyah. Pittsburgh were another good reg bet. I didn't give it on TV because I can't be giving minus 175 reg bets. LA Kings trailing the Ducks right now, 2-1. NBA basketball. I gave the Sixers on the show, plus the points. Big man will join us in a couple minutes. He thinks I hate the Eagles and the Sixers. Look, I don't. I bet on the Sixers. I'll bet on the Lakers. Unfortunately, I bet on the Pacers tonight. And the Pacers lost by 5. Spurs were a good play tonight. Spurs were a good play, 120 to 107. They roll. New York Knicks come back and win. We gave the Knicks. Nice night of NBA picks. Fucking Raptors, though. They blow the massive fucking lead. They end up only winning by 5 to screw those fucking teasers that we talked about. We can check the tape from last night when I said, if you tease the Raptors, check the fucking video right now. Somebody, if you can. We're going to take a quick break right now, and we're going to come back with Big Man. I swear to God, look at last night's show, at the end of the show, and I said, man, we're all down after the bad beat. I said, yeah, you can tease, do a football, basketball teaser, but watch, the Raptors will win by 5. He's 11-point favorites on a 5-point teaser. You need to win by 6. They win by 5. Un-motherfucking believable. And what I'm pissed about this, I didn't know. I thought, you know what, I gotta be honest with you. Like I said, I fell asleep earlier, guys. I was up, I stepped out, I fucking nodded off for a second. I looked at the clock. I'm like, is it 8:57? Is it 9:57? And then like I got all discombobulated. It's all a big joke that, I have different clocks on everything. It's true though. So it fucks me up, man. My fucking phone is wrong, my fucking microwave is wrong, my stove is wrong. So I have to look on the TV, fuck. So I had to go to the news channel. I'm like, oh, shit. Fuck, it's 10:03. Yeah, I like the Blazers here in this game. I got screwed, though. I played a fucking pro line tonight. The Raptors needed to win by 6. I thought it was a lock. I thought it was done. Fucking sports betting. And this is unbelievable here too. I gave it earlier in the day with Akron. The spread goes all the way up to 11.5. I bet it. I had to step out. I bet it at 9.5. I get it up to 10. I get a push only. Fucking the voodoo doll's in effect again tonight, huh? Fucking motherfuckers, man. All right. It's fucking frustrating me, this bullshit. All right, it's 46-44 right now. Second half is just underway here. Oklahoma City and Sacramento. Man, we got a low total here at 183.5. Down to 181.5. I got to grab the over 181.5. It cost us last night playing this math, but it's 180.5 right now. Like, really? You're telling me the Oklahoma City Thunder and Sacramento Kings can't get to 181 fucking points? It's been Brick City so far here. And I got to tell you, the total feels a little low here at 193.5 in this Portland-Memphis game. I like Portland in this spot. I like Portland in this spot coming into this game, laying 3 points. Right now in game, they're up by 6. They're laying 5.5. Philadelphia 76ers looking at cash on the money line right now, up 95-82. I'm really fucking pissed, man. I seriously, I was like, damn, I think I just won like $300 on Pro Line. And no, I got fucked because of the Raptors. It's unfucking motherfucking believable, man. It just never fucking ends, man. It just never fucking ends, this bullshit. I'm waiting for a good time to step up and in on Oklahoma City here. It's 48-47. They're minus 6.5 now. I'm waiting. Let's wait for Sacramento. Hopefully Sacramento goes on a little run, gets up, then we can grab Oklahoma City. All right, so listen, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Big man on campus. We'll step up, and then we'll talk a little about Doc Holliday. One of the Ball brothers got busted in China today. The Ball brother that nobody ever talks about. LiAngelo. And it's funny because I know some of you had talked about what a great father LeVar Ball is because he got his kids ready. So now you're going to call him a bad father? I'm not going to pile on as much as people think on this. He's a kid, whatever. Like, yeah, his last name is Ball and stuff, but he's a college kid. Kids do stupid things. My whole thing is, who the fuck steals from a Louis Vuitton store? I don't want it. Why would you want anything from a Louis Vuitton store? What are you, Paris Hilton? You want a fucking Louis Vuitton handbag? I don't understand. What do you want? Like, what does Louis Vuitton even sell? What, like sunglasses and handbags and other douchebaggery? Fuck. So that's my biggest deal. Fuck. Not that you stole something. That you tried to steal something from a Louis Vuitton store. You fucking snowflake. Take a quick break. Big man on campus next.
You know, it's not in their fight with Adams, but jump hook always has had it to be able to get it up and over anybody defending it.
And he does such a good job. You see here, they're going to get off that block shot out in the tag mode. Good job by Willie Cauley-Stein coming over and being able to block that shot.
I saw George do it a few times, Paul George. But Paul George pretty taken on the drove a few times. But it seems to me they're almost like they're jump shot happy right now. Okay, see, they're all just willing to pull. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're hot, you're making shots. But of course, plan B has got to be up to the rack, get to the foul. Like this guy's setting off for him.
And to that comment we got off the Twitter, OKC is 25th in the league in terms of drives per game. And you wouldn't think that with a team with Russell Westbrook on it, but so that is definitely something in another area where they're going to have to improve as the season progresses. Yeah, and I think we're going to great run out. And I'll just look at it just from the standard of watching basketball. You have three guys that can draw a double and kick and let the other guy get his driving lane. 1 point a game here. OKC.
We live in a world obsessed with numbers. They tell us where to go, how to act, and who to love. But there are those who refuse to be defined by them. Those who choose to live beyond numbers. An experience that can't be quantified. Discovered in every detail. And felt from the inside out. So stop counting and look beyond the numbers. Infinity and power to drive. Aren't you getting yourself anything? Not even something small for the Christmas party? Like your choice. Drop earrings, hoop earrings, or ear climbers and sterling silver, $29 a pair. Or this cute zirconia padlock bracelet, $59 at Michael Hill.
Get the PS4 Pro bundle.
Respect, teamwork, and community. A blessing that will last a lifetime. Join me and thousands of kids across Canada in the Junior NBA Rookie Division program today.
You built a sandcastle, but why let muscle pain stop you there? You've got Advil 12 hours. Just one pill for up to 12 hours of muscle pain relief. To build another sandcastle and a sand condo. 12 hours to build a whole sand street. Start a whole sand civilization. Because with the long-lasting pain relief of Advil 12 hours, you decide when to stop. Conquer your day with the one pill pain relief of Advil 12 hours. Advil and go.
You're watching Players Only on NBA TV, presented by Verizon, and we go this graphic up GA and Kevin McHale to talk about the OK3 struggling tonight. And GA, Kevin McHale, what are you guys' thoughts on what do they need to do to get a better field goal percentage?
Yeah. We're looking at it right now. A lot of jumpers, 3 for 11, 3 for 12, 3 for 8. Drive hard, kick it out, let those guys on the weak side make some attacks to the basket. Get to the line, just get more ball movement off the initial thrust.
And we haven't really seen any offensive sets. I didn't see much of anything. It was all just trying to kind of self-will it, and I'm going to go make a play.
I don't really like this Oklahoma City team.
Even with as talented a player as those three are, sometimes.
What's that video game? NBA Jam? It's like this ain't if you're NBA Jam, you got 2 players, 3 players, whatever. This ain't 3-on-3.
He's having his struggles and he's miscommunication. I'm sure they probably had something out of the timeout and they just didn't get to it. And you see a lot. I think everybody's frustrated. A lot of head shaking. Yeah.
Their heads, shaking their heads. Coaches are shaking their heads. Everybody's shaking their head.
The ball, Kevin, just like you said, for the King jump squad is moving side to side.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets that for the ball. One thing I will say, though, they've been pretty good defensively. Yes, for the most part. I mean, not spectacular, but they've been solid. They've done a good job with contests, the rotations. It's just been their offense, much like this, a lot of random offense where they're ending up with a jump shot that's contested. Well, Kevin, question I have is, players that play with the basketball in their hands so much, they got to learn how to make basketball plays for others without the basketball. Sometimes you just cut hard, knowing you're not going to get it. Sometimes you set a screen, knowing you won't get the roll, just to help your team. Sometimes you have to have a setting that's just your movement set. Where guys are just cutting and just moving, and you have to cut, you have to slot cut, you have to corner cut, you have sets that just have movement. And there are times you say, let's just run this sex, it's forces movement. We've now got a lot of guys standing, your turn, my turn, not enough cutting, and you're cutting hard, rolling hard, you're putting pressure on that basket all the time. I just think that it collapses the defense. Then when the ball does get spun around, you have to be able to attack closeouts from the paint out, the defenders comes from the paint outside. This gives you a better chance to attack. I don't see
NBA Jam was awesome.
Definitely doesn't have a rhythm. They don't know who they are yet. I'm not going to panic with early in the season.
He's on fire.
You got to find out who you are.
He's on fire. 55-51 for Sacramento right now. Yeah, man, I watched the NBA finals on tape delay when I was a kid. I remember asking my grandfather, can I stay up to watch the Washington Bullets and Seattle Supersonics? Like, seriously, no joke. It was like the local news and shit. It was like 11 o'clock Eastern, the local news. And then like at 11:30, we now take you to the NBA Finals. It was all like in the middle of the night. That's the first NBA Finals I watched. I had a buddy who just cheesed threes instead of trying to dunk, a jabroni. You get your brisk gun. I don't know. I'm trying not to drink soda. All right, I never asked for the thumbs up, guys. Come on. Do we have to ask every night? When you hop in, just give the thumbs up, even if you hate the show, right? Because even if you hate the show, you're watching the show. If you don't give a thumbs up, there won't be shows. Give the thumbs up. And make sure to connect with SBR on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Google+. Check out the odds. I used the odds page earlier today off the air. I was like, I need the odds for something. I looked up SBR odds. I knew they would have it, so I checked it out. SBR odds, SBRpicks.com, free picks, sportsbookreview.com, all the sportsbook review listings. We appreciate that, Murkowski. So, yeah, Big Man on Campus is getting ready to join us here, and he's ready to go. We're talking about talks of basketball. Roy Halladay unfortunately passes away, 40 years old, in a plane crash. So rough times for our main man, Big Man on Campus, ready to join us. As on a lighter note, let's start off with the lighter stuff because it's hard to get all somber and sad and then be jerks and crack jokes about things. So we'll start off with stating it's a dark day for Big Man on Campus. First, Meek Mill goes to jail. Meek Mill goes down. I know Big Man's a big meat guy, and I don't know, like, really? That's the problem with fucking justice in America. I saw a good tweet, and it's true. That fucking rapist, Brock fucking Turner, whatever his name is, kid, the swimmer kid, You know, he rapes people. Weinstein's fucking groping chicks walking around. What did Meek Mill do? Is Meek Mill a danger to society? Really? And Meek, don't expect on Nikki to fucking be faithful while you're gone, bro. But that's another story. And now, when I heard that one of the balls got busted, I'm thinking, no, then that can't be Lonzo. It's LiAngelo. Let's bring in big man on campus. What's going on, big man?
The unethical and personal vendetta against Meek Mill by this judge is absolutely unbelievable. It's unconscionable, Gabe. I can't believe it. The absolute disgrace of a judge we have here that just will not leave Meek alone. Meek is a do-gooder of good in our town. He's a legend. I've known him since we were kids. He's a great rapper, an awesome person. And I'm sick of the fact that he's being railroaded by this scumbag judge. By the way, Gabe, Nikki and him broke up actually, but
oh, they're done, huh?
Yeah, she actually tweeted out, "Don't drop the soap," yesterday.
After
after
that Drake thing, I knew it wasn't going to end well for poor for Meek with Nikki, but so she tweeted out, "Don't drop the soap."
She did, yes.
What a motherfucking bitch!
Well,
really.
That's her for you. It didn't end well for those two, but
she's way overrated. She looks hot. She's one of these chicks, man. She looks hot in her video, man. But she looks nothing in real life like she does in her videos and stuff. Like, I'm telling you, you want to, all you need to know. Like, she got a lot. But did he talk shit about her deflated ass and shit like that before? Was he a prick to her too, though?
I don't believe so. Not that I remember. I will admit I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's fantastic as far as looks wise. I'm not a big fan of her music, but it ended tumultuously from what I understand. But she was always around the city. They looked like they had a good relationship. But no, I don't believe so, Gabe.
So, what's the deal with this, anyways? Because I sort of saw it. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I'm more concerned with like World War III that's about to start, but nobody else seems to care about that. But so what? It's a violation of his parole. What, he failed a drug test? What is this marijuana? Are you telling me that he smoked weed and this is what it is?
No, basically, 10 years ago he was arrested for a gun charge and some drug charges. He was. When we were all younger, because he's around the same age as me, and he lived in the neighborhood next to mine. And I remember when we were super young, he would be rapping on the corner, and he always rode dirt bikes and stuff. But he was arrested back 2007-ish, around that time. And this all has to do with that. His parole or probation was supposed to be 5 years, but this judge has just continuously, just jammed them up for everything. And there's actually been a lot of unethical things that she's done around this game. She was actually it was actually quoted by his lawyer that in court, she's demanded all this stuff from Meek, like personally. Like, she has some personal vendetta along the lines of, and this is all true. You can actually research this. She actually was a Boyz II Men fan and asked that Meek redo a track and involve her. You can look it up. It's true. You can look it up. She actually.
Well, there needs to be an investigation into this shit.
That's my point.
Like, there really needs to. Yeah, they're. Like, what the fuck's going on with this? Like, honestly.
They're railroading Meek Mill. There's a vendetta by this judge against him. She doesn't like him. Actually, if you read into the trial notes, the prosecutors had no interest in pursuing jail time for Meek. He actually left to go to Atlanta because he did have a personal Percocet problem, which he got help for at a rehab facility. Which in this city, perks are a big problem. He went to Atlanta, got help for that. And she's basically, I heard from the lawyer that when he walked into the room, the courtroom yesterday, the door to go into the holding cell was already open. It was basically a decided decision already. From what I understand, the lawyer is going to try to get this to the governor to get this pardon. There's a lot going on in this, but the judge has been very partial to everyone but him.
Let's see, Meek Mill judge. Not surprised it's a woman, actually, to be honest. Not to be whatever, but
he also was quoted as saying,
here it is. Meek Mill's lawyer claims judge asked rapper to leave Rock Nation.
She also did that. She actually had a friend in the city of Philadelphia that was a agent, and she basically threatened him and said he needed to leave Rock Nation to
So
go
this
work with
sounds this sounds like he's getting pinched in some sort of rap. This is like fucking that show Empire or something, man.
He's basically, I'm telling you,
there's some shit where he's getting taken out of the business somehow. Like,
and he's basically
this isn't right. There needs to be an overall investigation into this.
And he's
basically an overreach of justice.
No, it totally is. It's totally wrong. And the judge is basically trying to get him to do things for her personally, so it furthers her career, and he won't. So she basically, and he's actually called her out in certain rap songs, and basically, just discussed that she's unethical, and she's done all this stuff against him, and she has this hard on basically for him. And she sentenced him yesterday for 2 to 4 years. I mean,
this is fucked. Yeah, the judge Tocopina. And yeah, it's nice. It sounds like a good lawyer, Tocopina.
Tacopina, yeah, Joe Tacopina.
Yeah. You need an Italian guy, like
correct.
If you're in these spots,
right.
Believes the judge potentially perceived beef with Meek stems from the rapper's apparent refusal to recreate a remake of Philly R&B group Boyz II Men on a bended knee and give her a shout out.
Yeah,
when she made the request in a Chambers meeting last year, Meek laughed it off because he thought she was joking. According to Tacopina, no, she's not. When Meek allegedly refused to do it, she goes, "Okay, suit yourself." What the fuck is going on here? Like, where's like the state attorney general on this shit? Like,
that's the next
sentence to 2 to 4 years in prison.
Yeah, state prison. He's up at CFCF right now. Yeah, and he was actually right away taken into custody, so he's in prison currently. And he's in state prison. He's not in like some holding cell. He's up at the state road. This
is fucking whacked, man.
Yeah.
This is fucked. Like, honestly.
Right. And for all these people that want to bring up,
is she white or black? I'm assuming she's black. The judge.
I believe she is. I've never seen her. They're pretty tight-lipped as far as showing what they look like. I'm sure she's out there.
What's her name? Fuck.
Janice Brinkley. Genece. She's a common plea judge.
Judge Janice
Brinkley, Philadelphia. Yeah.
Brinkley, Philadelphia. She's got to be black. She's probably on a take part of this like rap fucking war. Former apologies. I'm finding this chick. Yeah, here she is apologizing and putting some dude in jail for 40 years. Oh, that's another Brinkley. Yeah, what a shock in Philly, too. Some brother got 40 years in jail. He's innocent. All he got is, "Oh, we're sorry about that, bro."
Yeah, hey, here's a little money, but hey, you lost 40 years of your life.
I know. Here's $400,000.
Yeah, this should deal with your pain and suffering.
Yeah, you're right. Normally you can find people. They're like, "Yes, your picture doesn't pop up here. I'm trying to." Members,
but it's another, clear misstep in the underlying reality for black men in America. That's really the problem here. I mean, if this was a white person, this would not be happening. Look at Brock Turner. Brock Turner raped women, and he got 6 months. Doesn't perform a rap song or whatever she wanted, and he gets 2 to 4 years.
This is crazy shit.
Right.
All right, so. No,
but yes, overall, it's a tough day for Philadelphia. Not only that, but other things.
Yeah.
Mill, Gabe, has done a lot for this town. I mean, he's basically the way out for a lot of kids. He's a bit of a role model at this point. He's changed his life.
That's the thing here. Yeah, and I'll be on Drew on this one. I'm not going to blame white people on this because I'm saying she's black. Well, no, come on. She's part of the fucking rap and R&B scene and a judge. It sounds like she's a plant to me. I'm just stating. Like, it sounds like, she's from the hood and she's in on some sort of weird rap war against.
Well, no, she basically wants to use her judgeship to basically get what she wants, and it's rare, odd. And actually, when she asked for the Boyz II Men thing, it was actually when Nicki Minaj was there. She was in. It basically happened. They both laughed and said, "You're kidding, right?" And she goes, "No, I'm not kidding." And
See, that's the thing too. That this is why kids will grow up too hating authority. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like you said, everyone in Philly's now like, well, look, You know, they even fuck with Meek Mill. They're going to fuck with me. Why should I do things the right way? Like, that's what they don't realize. They're constant fucking pettiness, man.
And it gets everyone to hate the police and to hate the government even more. And that's the stuff here. You know, if police didn't screw around with people, we wouldn't have a problem with them. But they continuously misstep and do things like this. I'm not saying this was police, but, you know, a lot of this stuff is fairly trivial. I mean, let's be real. It's a shame, really.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about another bizarre legal case. We're like this is we should have a show on Headline News. You and I.
I agree.
Talking about the Daily's criminal cases. So the other case, this broke me and Big Man. We have a video, me and Big Man, up on the Fantasy Sports Network YouTube page talking college basketball. But just basically, right as we were talking, news broke that LiAngelo Ball was one of 3 players arrested in Zhangzhou, China, earlier in the day. I just like saying the Chinese cities, Big Man. You know, so
I'm not wrong with that. They're interesting, surely.
Yeah, Zhangzhou, China. It's a suburb outside of Shanghai, for the record. So they're playing Georgia Tech. UCLA and Georgia Tech are playing an exhibition series.
It's actually a regular season game, Gabe, actually.
Oh, does it count, really? Oh, it's their first game, really?
First game of the season, yep.
Okay, so it's their first game of the season. So even more interesting now.
Right.
Long story short, there was a story, right? They got arrested. What happened? So now we know the details. Basically, this is pretty crazy shit, too. Both team buses were like leaving for the arena for practices and shit type deal. And 20 fucking Chinese cops, man, pulled up. Imagine the fucking scaring the shit out of people, dude. I'd be scared shitless. Fucking 20 Chinese cops showed up, they said. Stormed the buses, fuck. They got on the buses and they said, we know that some of you kids were involved in stealing some shit. And nobody confessed. And basically the Chinese cops grabbed the coaches and told them, listen, you tell the kids here, and the Chinese cops told the kids, if you lie to us, you're not going home to America. Like point blank. And they told the coaches this of both teams. Tell your kids we're not fucking around. You know, whatever, we can deal with this. But if they lie to us, they're not going home, like with you guys type thing. So, you know, they're not fucking around, man, in China. And from what I understand, less than the last hour or so, the cops took 3 people away, and they never came back. LiAngelo Ball is one of them. So it turns out both teams, I guess, were in a Louis Vuitton store at the same time. So the cops shook down the Georgia Tech bus pretty good, and Georgia Tech came out clean. Georgia Tech, I guess like 2 kids on Georgia Tech were really under the gun on this. They got off clean. And then UCLA, LiAngelo and the other 2 kids on UCLA confessed because they realized shit was getting real. So they confessed, and turns out there was a Louis Vuitton store in the hotel that they were staying at. So real bright. They go to China and steal from a store in the fucking hotel. I mean, you know, come on. You know, okay, you got caught. You guys were trying to score some weed in a bad part of Shanghai, or fucking you did some hookers. Okay. You know, what are you doing stealing fucking Louis? What do you need? What is in Louis Vuitton store anyways, big man? What do they want? Some alligator shoes? Fuck.
Well, I'll be real with you, Gabe. I actually just purchased some loafer moccasins from Louis Vuitton. Just being honest, but no, actually, they have everything nowadays, Gabe. I mean, it's a fashion brand. It's not just women's bags. I mean, you can buy luggage. I have a Louis Vuitton backpack. It's for young kids today. It's definitely a fashion thing. And listen, here's the problem with this whole thing. It was in a communist country, first of all, and George is totally right here. I read an interesting article. William Nee, he's a Hong Kong-based researcher. He basically researches the Chinese court system, and he said it's not uncommon that these kids might have to wait a month before they're actually even indicted for this.
Dude, this isn't fucking Justin Bieber checking in at Station 53 in downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
Like you said, the Chinese fucking legal system. Yeah. What if the Chinese legal system says, listen, chill out, They're not going to jail and shit. They're not going to some labor camp or anything. Don't worry about it. But our system doesn't work like your system. We don't have a 24-hour thing. They're going to court in 6 weeks. That's the way it works. Tough shit. This is almost international incident type shit right now. And it's funny because now you got the ball angle of this, and China is a massive fucking market for the balls. And here's, as far as shoe sales are concerned, there's a lot of things in play here where China likes basketball. China likes basketball players. China likes America. So, Adidas, and we're talking shoe deals and everything here. So that's what's going on right now. We're talking about the head of fucking Adidas on the phone with like one of the head big shots of the Chinese government.
But
saying, man, you guys got to do something here. This is a big star's kid. They're from Los Angeles. It's UCLA. I mean, no one's really talking about this now, big man. But if these kids from UCLA are still locked up 4 days from now, then we got a fucking international incident on our hands.
The U.S. consulate, I would imagine, will step in here and they'll negotiate for them. But I agree. I mean, this is not good for this, for not only him, but the other two kids are top 50 recruits. They're good players. They're better than even he is. They're good kids. They're good.
Jack Shea is saying, don't exaggerate this. They're sitting in a fucking jail cell in Zhangzou, China right now, bro. This is no joke. Right. This isn't fucking, Ryan Lochte, I fucking vandalized the gas station.
Right.
You're in China, bro.
This is a 3 to 10 year sentence if you're caught and you're convicted. They take this very seriously, and this is a communist country. This is not America. And Gabe, I don't know if you know this also, but if indicted, Chinese prosecutors enjoy, get this, a 99.2% conviction rate.
Yeah, no shit.
So it's pretty likely that they're not. I mean, it's unknown if they'll get convicted or not. But basically, in China, robbery is considered robbing the public or private property using force, coercion, or other methods. So basically,
they're not down with thievery there, bro.
It's not shoplifting. It's basically they're saying, in America, we would consider it shoplifting. It's a minor offense. In China, they consider it as robbery, basically, which here, robbery is you use, force to or break into somewhere and steal something. This was, in this country, it's not that serious. But in another country, especially China, I mean, Gabe, you have a situation here also that is concerning that. What's LeVar Ball going to say here? Because I wouldn't be one to want to speak up about the Chinese government. Who knows what he's going to say here?
I said Hangzhou.
But he needs to keep his mouth shut.
And what's crazy is fucking LeVar Ball was eating breakfast in the hotel when they got busted.
Yeah, he was actually told
with his wife. Imagine poor LeVar. Here I am defending LeVar. Poor LeVar. LeVar is probably thinking, I got big meetings with shoe dudes. Sure. I'm in Shanghai. This is great. Life's great. Eating breakfast at the hotel with his wife, and then boom, he sees the fucking cops pulling his kid away. Like you said, this isn't LA where you can go, come on, man, I'm LeVar Ball and shit.
Like, no one hears about it. Yeah, he gets out with a fine. Right. No, this is not good for him because he's, as we know, a guy that likes to speak.
I would kick him off the team. I mean, to me, this is you get kicked off the team.
Here's the problem.
How do you get a scholarship when there's kids that are fucking grinding, that don't have basketball skills, that are going to shitty community colleges, and these fuckheads are going to go through John Wooden's fucking institution? You know what? Shame on you, Steve Alford, for even bringing the fucking ball in. Lonzo was a great player. I get it. He fucking blamed the white kids on the team after. And you come back up. Can I get some more, sir? You know what, Alford? Fuck you. You get what you deserve. It's a fucking disgrace to see a once proud UCLA program grovel at the fucking feet of the Ball family.
Well, keep in mind.
I'm not going to pile on the kid. Listen, I told you today, you and I, we've grown up in the same ways. I've done a lot of stupid things that I really regret that when I was a teenager.
Right.
Like fucking taking things, smashing things, like doing things to, I've done a lot of bad things. So I can't sit here and go, I can't believe this kid. I have the audacity. I'm not going to get on any fucking moral high ground here as far as the kid stealing a fucking handbag. But I will get on moral high ground. If you're the UCLA Bruins, you knew what, you had Lonzo Ball. LeVar was a fucking circus sideshow. He blamed the white guys on your fucking team after you lost. And, you know, like you said, LiAngelo, what was he anyways? He was like the 23rd prospect at his fucking position.
He definitely, I will say this, he's a great shooter. But other than that, I don't know that if he's not if his last name is LiAngelo Smith, he's definitely probably not UCLA. No way. The other kids involved. They're very good. They're top 50 recruits. He is not, though. Here's the problem, though, Gabe. But here's the positivity for this. Over here, most people that like the balls, they'll think this is fucking cool. They'll think, wow, his street cred just went up to me because I didn't think he was street enough, but hey, he's definitely on our level now because these kids today, that's what they like. They like seeing stuff like this. It's almost like a rite of passage. He wanted to be like the other kids because let's be real, he grew up asking for nothing. Okay, he wanted to come off like he's a badass tough guy, and he stole something. Little did he know, he didn't think about it. It was in another country. Like you said, if this was here, it's that's how it works, Drew. I mean, I know you want to argue with me about everything. It's not the point. These kids today, stealing stuff, that kind of stuff, your name's in the news, that's cool to these kids today. They think it's cool. And the other kids are doing it, so he went along with them. You think he can't afford to buy himself a Louis Vuitton bag? His dad's got money. He could buy it for him. It's not the point. He didn't care about the bag. It's the fact that he thought it'd be cool to do it.
Maybe it's a cry for attention with this kid.
That's exactly what it is, Gabe.
You know what I mean? Like Lonzo is the fucking star. LeVar, the young one, is like the future, like little phenom kid, right? And he's just sort of the middle average one.
Right. I'm telling you, he did this to get some respect with his boys, you know, and the underlying effect will be they'll somewhere.
Personally, I agree, man. Street cred would be like, you know, he got caught in a fucking, you know, coke dealing ring. then it'd be like, it turns out the guy's he's hustling here.
I want to again make this clear because, as always on SBR, what I say gets taken out of context. To me, it means shit. I couldn't care less what you steal. That don't mean shit to me. But these stupid kids today, it means something to them. It's cool to steal stuff. It's cool to.
Oh, yeah. If he was in the Philippines, man, it wouldn't be death penalty, but it could be public lashing type shit. Like there's people, you know, people ever think that in the rest of the world, you're a soccer guy, big man. There's no way in fucking hell I would go anywhere near that fucking World Cup in Qatar, man. You know, and not because of whatever their human rights violations. Like, yeah, there's no human rights violations in the state of Florida, right? Or Pennsylvania for that matter. So, but I saw the other day, man, get this, dude. There was a guy, a British guy, he's drunk in a bar in fucking Emirates, UAE. And I don't know why the Brits fucking vacation there because they always get arrested. So the guy's drunk in a bar. And you can't be drunk in public there, but they want tourism, so you can get shit-faced in the fucking bar type thing. You know, like in the hotel, whatever. So the guy was drunk, but he wasn't like, you know, the guy's like a fucking professor or something like that. So the guy wasn't like stupid drunk, asshole drunk, but he was a little tipsy, and he put his drink on the bar, and the drink was about to fall over. He fucking, in the midst of reaching over to get the drink, his hand touched another man.
Uh-oh.
Okay? It touched a local. He didn't sexually, you know what I mean? But
it was just by accident.
He accidentally made contact with another man who was a local who filed a complaint that he was touched by somebody.
Uh-oh.
Buddy's in jail right now.
Sure.
Like, you know, and we vacation in these countries? As fucking if.
And you again have to ask yourself, you know, why? I mean, why are you doing?
Look, George would know. George Kiawe, look, he's Chinese, he's Asian, he's saying, and
sure.
Look, Jackie Chan's kid did time for weed. Like, you don't get the celebrity pass in Asia, guys. That's what people don't realize. There is no celebrity pass. If anything, they want to make an example of you.
Correct. And, you know, the U.S. will step in here. They'll do something. I mean, I would imagine. But I saw LeVar earlier was going to do a press conference in his hotel room. I mean, listen, I've made my comments on LeVar. I think he's funny. But sometimes you just need to learn to be quiet. This would be the time. I'd advise him to Don't say anything.
Oh, LeVar? Oh, yeah.
Because the last thing, Gabe, you
well,
want
if he holds a press conference and he threatens China or he says anything,
that's
fuck,
the last thing you want to do. I mean, you don't want to go to China and start talking bad about the government. I don't know that that's a good idea. It's actually a terrible idea. So yeah, it's I will say this also, Gabe. It's been a terrible year off season in college basketball. There have been some black eyes.
You're right. And now the season starts with this bullshit. Good call.
And I also want to point out that Georgia Tech, they're not off scot-free either. Their coach is under investigation for being involved with a friend of his that was giving.
Oh, Pastner. I saw that. So what's Pastner's buddy throwing him under the bus now?
Yeah, he's basically, he was giving the kids money, and supposedly he says Pastner, was in on it, and he knew about it, and all this stuff. And for Pastner, it's bad because he's pretty squeaky clean. I mean, he's a clean cut guy. He's always kind of done things by board for the most part that we know of. It's just been a really terrible year for college basketball offseason. I mean, now Colin Sexton, one of the biggest recruits, he's ineligible to play for Alabama because of being involved in that indictment probe.
I saw that, yeah.
It's just a total mess.
You know what, too? And a lot of times, I got arrested as a teenager like a million times, and I never learned my lesson. You know what I mean? That's why when I said I went to a juvenile, finally, I got a judge once like 3 times when I was a kid. And he basically said, and I sort of was like, yeah, are we done here yet? You know what I mean? And
not something you want to say.
Yeah, and basically he said, listen, it's pretty clear you don't get it. And he goes, I think you're going to figure it out now. And boom, the bailiff took me away.
See you later.
Yeah, and I was only a kid. I was like, holy fuck. And I was like, man, this guy ain't playing around. And so I wasn't there too long, but it was somewhat of a lesson, but it was true. I never learned any lessons. I don't learn any lessons now gambling. I never learn lessons. That's why I am who I am.
Neither do I.
For better or worse, big man. That's who we are, right?
Right.
I learn lessons.
I'm told all the time you have to people tell me you don't take any advice. You don't want to listen to nobody. And you're right. I don't.
But I was going to say, these guys, this is a lesson. Because this isn't sitting in Glendale, right? Mouthing off at the fucking Beverly Hills cop.
Yeah, this is in LA County.
Yeah. My father's on the way, asshole. I'm like, you know what I mean? And you got fucking Mark Garrigo showing up as your lawyer. Like fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, how worried would you really be in LA? You know what I'm saying?
No, you're getting off of the.
Like, yeah, whatever. Fuck, just give me the $450 fine. Fuck,
Yeah, leave me alone, right?
But I think this really is a lesson. Like, if you're these kids on UCLA, don't tell me that you're not scared shitless right now sitting in a Chinese jail cell.
I mean, it's truly amazing, really. I mean, it really is. I mean, you're looking at a very good possibility that they could do prison time in China. We're talking about arguably the most interesting, though controversial basketball family we've ever dealt with around here. I mean, this is big. This is. It's karma, I guess, for them. I know a lot of people want to see them fail, so I guess for them it's karma in a way. But I gotta say, I mean, at least the kids. Imagine being the kids that got caught up in this. We haven't heard shit about who they are.
Oh, the other kids.
All we hear about is it's LiAngelo Ball.
Good point. And you know what? The other 2 kids, they're not gonna have the same lawyer. Fuck, it's a good point, man. These 2 other fucking kids.
It's like these kids. Who the hell are they?
Sitting there, I know their parents. They're thinking, oh my God, my grandmother's gonna kill me. Fuck, the embarrassment. Like me, what's funny actually? I played hockey, and I played for a team, and we went to New York actually,
right,
to play in a tournament, and the same thing happened, man. We were a fucking embarrassment, man. All right, we all took acid before the game. We fucking we partied all night in a hotel. We all got fucking wasted. We started a fucking brawl. And the icing on the cake was 4 kids got arrested from stealing from a local store. But we were fucking 14. It's a little bit different. And I didn't steal anything from a store. I will admit, I did party and I did do the acid. And I did get into a brawl during the game. But, so this shit happens, but it shouldn't happen at UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, I actually remember last year, there was I'm trying to remember what team it was exactly, but I remember in the United States when you steal something, as we know, shoplifting is a fairly trivial crime. I mean, it's not like you're not going to get thrown into jail for it. You're going to get arrested, they'll hold you, and get a charge. But I remember like last year, a kid did it during the bowl season, and they just basically said you can't play in a bowl game. I mean, it was nothing really. This is while we would agree it's not a big thing. I mean, it's a thing kids do, but I don't know how stupid this kid is. I've said to you, I've seen the kid on like the documentary and stuff that they have. He's a fairly soft-spoken kid. He doesn't seem like a kid that would want to do stupid stuff like this. But as we've said, when you're around your friends, you do shit that you shouldn't do. I remember I told you, I can't tell you how many times I've thrown bricks through people's windows. I've done stuff. I've hit people that I shouldn't have, but I did it because I was around people and they were doing it. It's weird. It's kind of sad in a way because the kid's a kid. He's what is he, 17, 18 years old, and it's a huge lesson he's going to learn. But here's the problem, Gabe. It's in China and it's not here. And Trump's over there too, isn't he, right now? Yeah. Imagine if he gets involved with this. Fucking hell. I mean, it's amazing. It's like a movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if LeVar, of all people's, thinking that. Somebody get Trump on the phone. Can I get Trump to help me out on this?
But Gabe, imagine 50 years from now, you make this whole Ball family into a movie. You wouldn't watch that?
Well, we'll see what happens.
But here's the handicapping angle.
So far, I wouldn't know.
But there's a handicapping angle here, Gabe. What does Mr. Lonzo got tomorrow night? A road trip into Boston against the best defensive team in the league. His head's got to be other places, no?
Yeah,
they're really close. They're really close.
It just opens up the crowd now, and now Lonzo's got to deal with it.
I mean, if he already had a target on his back, I mean, now he's got his emotions because you be real. I mean, they're close. These kids, they're close brothers. They're like any brother. Your brother gets arrested. He's in China somewhere. You don't even know where he is. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, you know what? They'll all right, 78-76 right now. Real barn burner here tonight, big man. Real thrilling game. Fuck. The NBA was fun for the first 2 weeks here. Seems like we've arrived to the point where it's just shit now suddenly.
Yeah, I actually took I heard you took the Sixers. I actually had the Jazz in this game. So
what'd you think? No Embiid?
No. I've told you, I don't know if I've ever told you, but I really just look at the line movement. The whole world was on the Sixers, yet the Jazz line was going up. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. They're playing against a good defensive team, no Embiid. I think the public loves the Sixers this year, but they're playing really well right now. I'm very happy as a fan that how well they're playing. Great win. I'm actually on Portland as well, which they've blown it. Not a great night for me.
I just jumped in game on Oklahoma City when they were down by like 6 or 7. Cut the lead to 2. Suddenly down by 7 again. Still, Westbrook's not playing well. They're not a good team. I mean, it's like they're like a video game team. Paul George is a good player. I don't really know if he's a good fit with Russell Westbrook, and they're trying to force Carmelo into this thing. No one else on the team is really good. When everybody praised Oklahoma City because of the signings, I wasn't one of them. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I mean, it's as always, it's a chemistry thing early on. I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan, but I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan not necessarily with 2 other really high-level scorers there also. It's a cohesion thing initially. I think they'll get it figured out. I think they'll be fine, but you got a lot of people demanding the basketball game, and if last time I checked, there's only 1 ball. You can't there's not 3 or 4. But by the way, Gabe, wanted to update you. I know you've been losing sleep over this, but I'm actually just got an email yesterday that my Big Baller brand T-shirts are on their way. So just wanted to update you on that.
They might have to raise the price right now because
bail's going to be a lot, right?
They have to raise some funds.
Well, the fucking shirts were expensive enough, so hopefully,
you know what? If they were smart, actually, if you really cash in on this, you want street cred. Grab the mugshot, put that on a T-shirt.
Oh, I'd buy
the Chinese mugshot. And then embrace it gangster style.
I'd buy it, definitely.
But like I said, UCLA and 85-78 now. Like, seriously, Oklahoma City, like, it doesn't look like they care. I'm watching this shit. It doesn't look like they care, big man.
I don't think I don't think they do necessarily. I don't think a lot of these teams care in the NBA. It's a long season. I mean, Carmelo Anthony, has he looked interested in the game in years, Gabe?
It's almost a product, too, of the players making too much money. It's to the point where, I don't know, how much would you care, big man, if you were making $58 million a year?
I wouldn't give a flying.
That's the thing. It's like you've given these guys so much money.
Yeah, there's nothing to work for anymore.
It's hard to get them to show up 82 nights in a row. What are you going to do? Fuck, it's
sure.
And they play. I'm not saying they're mailing it in, but at the same point in time, are they really angry after the fact? Or are they thinking, holy shit, I got $700 million in the bank right now?
Well, it's interesting you say that because we actually, I know you know, we do some soccer shows at SPR, and I don't know if you know, but Cristiano Ronaldo's in his worst stretch in his career. He's having like a month stretch where he's just been horrible. And I presented the point recently that maybe he's done. He's won everything. He's worth $400 million. What more does he have? He's got a beautiful wife. He's very good looking. He's got kids. What more does he need in life? Maybe he's just done. He doesn't care no more.
That's the beauty of college sports, isn't it?
Or anything. Yeah, exactly.
No, but that's the beauty that pushes that we like it. College sports and the passion and the desire because they're playing for future earnings.
Exactly.
They're playing for future earnings, right?
That's why I've always loved college. Sure.
It's funny. I remember last night during Monday Night Football, John Gruden's like, I don't know why Devontae Adams didn't lay out for that ball and dive for it.
Right. Well, because
he's getting paid already. The guy came back from a broken ankle, Chuck, and he's got Brett Hundley as his quarterback, and he knows they're not going to do anything. So, no, he's not going to dive for it.
And I don't know if you've noticed, Gabe, it's pretty interesting in the NFL.
Like maybe if it was a playoff game and Aaron Rodgers threw the ball, he lays out for it, John.
But you notice now,
wake up.
And ever since the CTE stuff started to be talked about, have you noticed that blocking has went down significantly? No one blocks anymore. No running backs want to block. Offensive line play sucks. No one wants to get hit in the head.
You're right.
They're trying to
notice
down.
You notice too, even all these DBs, they're coming up. They sort of like they turn sideways and shit. Like they don't even attempt to tackle or put their head down. They sort of, like you said, they look like someone that I don't want to get hit here. I'll sort of turn sideways and bump into them. Like no one tackles. It's sort of bump into now,
Yeah.
Like and the new thing you'll notice too is push the guy out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's the new one. Don't even tackle. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to get hurt trying to tackle you. Like, I don't want to fall face first on the hard turf. You're right. It's sort of, all right, I'll push you out of bounds. You notice guys run out of bounds? I was fucking shocked when I saw the Lions tight end last night. He was running down the sidelines, and he cut it back in play. And it was so unorthodox. I was like, man, I haven't seen anyone do that all month.
Sure.
Like nobody. I remember Walter Payton would refuse to step out of bounds. He would refuse to step out of bounds.
You look at every position all of a sudden in the NFL. Like, you remember the days of the tight end where he would just, like, put his head down and hit anyone in his way? There's none of that anymore. Brent Selleck is like a lost art in this league.
You're right. There's no smash mouth tight ends anymore.
Zach Ertz, I think
he's a wide receiver, Zach Ertz.
Well, his goal is to, like, get hit as little as possible, and I don't blame him. When he's 60 years old, I wouldn't want to get hit that much either. It's how much can I not get hit in the head? That would be my goal. And if I'm going to miss a block or two, well, I'm just going to have to deal with it.
What the fuck are Oklahoma City doing? You're not even fouling. You don't even care. They don't care.
No, they don't care.
Like, it's unfuck. Look at Westbrook. Like, fuck, man.
Yep.
All right. Even Billy Donovan's like, come on, guys. Like, seriously, fuck.
Yeah.
What a fucking mail-in fucking.
He misses college, Billy Donovan.
Holy shit, I'm getting frustrated. Just on a nightly basis, big man. I'm just getting fucked, man.
I hit Buffalo tonight, so I'm feeling good. I hit that. So.
Fuck.
And sorry to all you Akron bettors who took Akron. What a shit league that is. I mean, the quarterback for Akron gets called out 5 minutes before the game that he's not going to play, and it's too late for everyone to get their bets back.
Yeah, I had Akron.
Yeah, Tommy Woodson had a disciplinary issue, so they took him out of the game. He didn't play.
That's great, isn't it?
Tough league.
I ended up getting a push somehow still.
In what game?
In the Akron game.
I'm not sure. What did you have? You had.
I got 10.
Oh, you bet it late. Okay, well, good for you. Most people.
It closed 11 and a half.
That's good for good for you. A lot of people bet it.
Bad for me. I ended up getting a push. I could have won at the 11 and a half. It was fucking 7 earlier in the day. I mean,
right. That's because the quarterback got pulled right before the game. I mean,
it was a double whammo because the fucking quarterback of Miami came back and then the Akron quarterback got pulled. So it was a double zammy.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, I got to tell you, I think you're pretty lucky that you even got a push.
I mean, look at this bullshit. Yeah, whatever. I just lost it now anyways with this shit.
Right.
Fucking Oklahoma. I didn't even take Oklahoma City. I just jumped in on the in game here. Like, fuck me. There's Mexican basketball on right now.
What's up tonight? Anything going on tonight?
No, all we have is Mexico. Oh, we got some hockey. Went 3-2. There's actually no Japan and Thailand soccer.
Oh, that just started actually. Vietnam playing.
60th minute. Oh, fuck the Vietnamese. No, nothing against the Vietnamese.
Too bad China's not playing.
That came out the wrong way.
I definitely get on them.
They fucked us against. Fuck the Vietnamese. Me and Big Man bet on this the other night. We lost with Vietnam. That's why.
You got anything on this badminton match?
No, I rarely bet on badminton. Fucking Watanabe minus 225.
Watanabe, yeah.
I don't know Watanabe. I don't know. Maybe we should just blindly bet on Watanabe. I don't know. It's an Asian guy against a non-Asian guy. Fuck.
Darren Liu might be.
Nah, but that looks like a Liu, not a Liu.
Yeah, I see what you mean, right?
No,
he's actually Malaysian. Malaysian.
Oh, Darren Liu?
Yeah.
Where's Koki Watanabe from?
Watanabe is Japanese, I believe. I mean,
Japan, and Thailand. They're into the 60th minute. I don't know. I'll tell you what, this Asia Cup shit, man. No one seems to score very much, big man. No first goal is plus 275. Japan, Thailand.
In the soccer championships. Yeah, it's under 19. And
there's 30 minutes left.
Yeah, Asia's known to not score. Let me see here. Under 1.5 is at minus 150.
I'm going to jump in on that.
I might get it. Yeah, I'm getting on that also.
I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take no goal, plus 275.
So you're backing on a draw?
Draw is plus 200. I'd rather just go no goal, plus 275.
Sure.
Because one of the chances is going to be 1-1, right?
Makes totally good sense, right? I'm going to take the under 1.5.
We're in, boys. If you want some late night action, Japan and Thailand. We're talking Asia crime. We're talking Chinese legal system. Now we bet some Asia Cup soccer.
And now we have under 19 Japan, Thailand. I'm going to go. I took the minus 150 on the under 1.5. So I can actually get a goal here and I'm still all right.
Yeah, it looks like Japan's probably the play if someone's going to score. You can tell by this if you're looking at a scoreless game. Look at the corner kicks, big man. 13 corner kicks to 0. So that tells you that Japan's been all over them.
They're dominating. They're just having some unlucky not scoring. Uh-oh, here we go. This
dangerous attack.
Uh-oh.
The ball's in the box. Fuck.
Oh, no. Here comes the goal.
No, fuck off. Come on.
Oh, my God. I'm so sick. Oh, my God. They scored. I was so sick. Oh, no. Oh, man. Fucking hell. Oh, man. God, that's so sick.
Man. I don't know. We should just log off tonight.
You should have took the under 1.5. And I can. I
did. I have it. I still have the under 1.5.
Okay, let's get that then. No more goals.
Yeah, now it's under 2.5.
Fucking hell.
Right after we take it. Fuck.
I might just keep doubling down. Like,
right.
Get my money back.
Me and Big Man both see it at the same time. We're like, there's the ball. There's the ball. Ask you something.
We're at how many corners did you say? 13.
13 corners. Fuck.
I'm thinking about taking over 16 at plus 120.
Fuck. We should have just bet on Japan to score the next fucking goal. Fuck.
Yeah, that's sick. Well, you can do it now. Minus 200. Get your money back.
Motherfucking Thailand.
What will happen is we'll do Japan to score the second goal and
Thailand will score.
And then we'll lose. God, so sick. What a joke, man.
At least we're laughing. Fuck. Here comes Japan's.
Here comes another thing. Yeah. Oh my God. They have 106 dangerous attacks. Thailand has 8. This is a total fucking – look at how many target shots they have. 14. Oh, my God. What a sick game. This is a total this is a totally – wow. What a shit game. I can't believe I bet this. All right, come on, Thailand. Defend, fucking defend.
It's just like we just keep hitting new lows, big man. Fuck. You know?
Hey, Gabe, what about this, though? Gabe, I got a little idea here. What about final score 2-0?
What's that pay?
I'm trying to find out here. What the fuck's going on here?
I see the slider, but there's
Plus
no
180, plus 187. So we kind of, yeah, we kind of hedge a little bit.
That's not bad, actually. That's a good way to get out of it.
Yeah, I might do that.
Because look, Japan's second goal is minus 188, so it's doubtful that Thailand's going to score, right?
I mean, with how much? Look at the domination they've scored. They've had.
Oh, and here's Thailand, dangerous attack.
Oh, no.
As I say, doubtful they'll score.
They can't score.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! No! Oh my God! What a sick game! They scored. Oh my God! I'm not doing anything else. I lost.
Everything I say, the opposite happened.
What a joke! Oh my God! This is sick. Oh no! I just said there's no way they can score. They've had one shot on goal.
Japan, and I go, yeah. There's no way Thailand's gonna score.
God, what a sick! This is sick.
You are watching the coldest motherfuckers in the world here, man.
I'm getting in one more thing here.
You're getting in again.
No, I am. I'm waiting for a number here. Come on, fuckheads. Open up the number.
This is fucking gold. I know I'm only laughing. This is pathetic. I just lost money, but it's so sad that
for God's sakes, give me a fucking number here.
It's like everything that we say, 30 seconds later, the opposite happens. Yeah, let's go. No goal. Goal.
Where's the
no
fucking
way Thailand's gonna score? Goal.
Come on, you pussy. Bet365. Give me a fucking number here, will you? I'm waiting on another. Oh my God, they scored again. Fucking Christ. 2-1. Jesus Christ, man. What a sick fucking game.
It's fucking fixed. We got fucked, man.
They were listening.
No, dude, this Asia shit. Yeah, like the fucking Asia under 19 cup's not rigged. Fuck.
All right, here's what I'm doing. I'm doing one more bet. I'm doing over 16 corners in the match, minus 150. There's 14 corners right now. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. All right, that's the last thing I'm doing.
That's the last bet. I'm down to my last bet. I'll jump into. I got next to nothing left.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm doing
walk of shame. Back to the post office tomorrow.
Over 16 corners at minus 150.
All right. Give us a second. I don't know if you want to take a quick break, big man, or give me a second if you want to take a question or two. But I need a second here to between this basketball game and the soccer, like that's like big man, you and I, it's like someone going to Vegas, getting off the plane and losing the first you sit down. Ding, 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 you lose and you're out of money.
What a sick.
We just lost 3 plays in a row, big man, in about 38 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it was really amazing. They hadn't scored a goal until we started getting involved.
It's 0-0.
Let's get involved in that Vietnam-Laos game.
We're all like, look, hey, it's 60th minute. It's scoreless. Let's take no goal, plus 275.
I'm just putting this out there. I'm just putting this out there. That Vietnam-Laos game, Laos at plus 850, they've actually done pretty well in this game. It's pretty even. I might take a shot.
Well, hey, Vietnam are overrated. We saw that the other day. They were big favorites against Macau, and we got fucked in that game.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking I'm going to take
I think fucking Laos at fucking draw plus 450.
No, I'm going to take Laos at I want to get an Asian handicap here if I can. I'm going to do Laos draw double chance. That means they can draw or they can win at plus 300. And I'm going to take, I got that over 16 corners. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take plus 300 on Laos draw double chance. And I'm sure Vietnam will score in minutes. But if we can get a Laos goal somehow, we're going to probably win. I'm hoping. All right, dangerous attack. Here we go. Laos
I like what Ryan J's saying. Laos plus 2.
No, I want a little back. 3-1 I can get on this. Draw double chance is nice. There's been very few opportunities. Laos has actually played pretty well.
Fucking Oklahoma City Thunder. So what? Sacramento have won one game all year, right? Of course, they just win right now.
Oh, my God. And they were getting crushed, too, weren't they?
It was 25-10 after the first quarter for Oklahoma City.
What a sick league.
I'm telling you, the NBA, it always does this. The first week or two is always really good in the NBA because the players are whatever, they're into it. They're not into it. We're seeing this already. We're into November. Players are starting to tap out, disinterested already, and then it'll pick up again on Christmas Day. Then from Christmas Day until All-Star voting, they get into it and shit. And then post-All-Star break, there's this lull again, and then they don't give a fuck until the playoffs. It's kind of annoying, but that's the little routine that they do in the NBA every year.
Yeah, no, that's why the playoffs are so good in the NBA generally.
Fuck, man.
All right.
They need to shorten the season.
I need to hit Laos.
Greg Mattson, stay hot, fellas. Stay hot, fuck.
Yeah, he's not happy with some of the comments in here tonight. I mean, Greg, I'm not sure what you're so pissed off about. He's just mentioning that his first bet he ever made, he needed Roy Halladay to hit a game, and he didn't hit it. He's just mentioning that. I don't know what – I'm not sure what the big deal about that is, Greg. I mean, lighten up.
All good, Walter Trotter. Kick this FC who troll out? Who? FC
I think he's talking
betting on underdogs. I can't kick someone out for fucking saying bet on money line underdogs.
No, Greg, I was just telling you why he said that about Halladay. He had a big parlay on Halladay and it lost.
Oh yeah. No, he's not. I don't. Zach's not mocking anything. He's not. He's just
Zach would never do that. He's just mentioning it.
Yeah, no one's mocking anybody. Yeah.
You're good. You're good, Greg. No biggie.
I like the big man. It's like the other guy. Who's the guy? Where's his name here? Where somebody in the chat, they're like, ban this FC troll. Bet money lines on underdogs. Solid bank. Can't boot him out for that. But what else has he said?
I haven't seen him say anything.
I don't know. I haven't noticed him. I don't stare at the chat.
Settle down, Cody AV.
Cody AV's all right.
Cody Audio Visual. Settle down. Where's Bruce Chad? We gave him a nice shout out on the show today, remember?
Oh, on TV? Yeah.
We're talking about Grand Canyon.
Yeah, Bruce. Fuck. Thanks for not watching our TV show. You would notice that we gave you a shout out.
Yeah, where's Bruce Chad?
Well, yeah, come on. Well, Bruce is all baked, fuck.
Yeah, he's probably trading Bitcoin.
Yeah, I saw today, actually, there was $300 million in one of these cryptocurrency places missing.
What a surprise.
You trust that cryptocurrency shit?
I don't know what the fuck it is. And no, I don't even have a bank account, basically. So, no, I don't. I don't trust banks or any of that shit. No, I'm
people with Bitcoin and all this shit, man. One day you're going to wake up. It's going to be gone, fuck.
Yeah, I know. It's just gonna disappear like they did with poker.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, so it's called Ethereum. Ethereum.
I gotta look into that.
$300 million. And get this, the company told the people, you're not getting it back. Sorry.
Jesus.
It's gone. It's gone.
Lonzo Ball's in the chat. Welcome in, Lake Chozo. Because of you and Donnie, you won $5K. Good. I'm glad he took Buffalo. A lot of money you're betting there, but good job. That's great.
Yeah, $300 million fucking $300 lost in cyberspace. I like how the owner's telling people, chill out, we're looking into it. It's like a sports book. Where's my money?
Jazz said you're telling lies, Gabe.
Not telling lies, Jazz.
Okay, yes, Gabe, yeah.
Lau scored?
No, did you take the corner thing over 16? We're at 16 right now. Let's fucking go.
Good shit.
Come on, one more, baby.
Yeah, I got the small play on it.
Come on. Do not let me down. Come on.
Settle down, Jazz. Let me find the fucking story for you.
Settle down, Jazz. Hey, Bruce Chad, check out the show today. We were talking
Oh,
about
here it is. Here it is. Fucking Jazz. You're a real troublemaker, Jazz. Virtual currency is a risky gambit. On one hand, it's cool and seems like the next logical step on our journey towards hoverboards. On the other hand, these currencies are never quite as safe as their Silicon Valley proponents make them out to be.
Wait, don't we already have hoverboards?
Case in point, virtual currency platform Ethereum just announced that $300 million was accidentally been locked away, and the issue may be irreversible.
Jeez, that sucks.
Yeah, Ethereum just lost $300 million of their actual money by using the digital platform.
Gabe, winner. Corners is a winner. Let's go.
We should have just bet on that only, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so basically, in order to understand how this happened, go back to July of this year when an anonymous hacker exploited a bug in the system and stole $32 million. This occurred just 1 week after another hacker managed to surf away with $7.4 million in Ethereum funds. According to Security Alert, fixing the bug that allowed those hacks in July opened up users to more vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities were accidentally exploited by a single user, merging $300 million of funds and making him the sole owner. The user, who goes by the name of DevOps199 on the programming community GitHub, tried to do the same thing, deleting the wallet containing the $300 million, otherwise known as suiciding. I don't understand this shit.
Sounds interesting. Way over my head.
All I know is people have this money in this fucking cyber shit, man. Yeah, it sounds all cute and shit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
all
rather
it takes is one fucking hacker. You know, Kim Jong-un, this is how he buys all his weapons and funds all his weapons, eh?
Sure.
He steals Bitcoin.
I'd rather just keep
Kim
it
Jong-un is the biggest thief of Bitcoin in the world, fuck.
I'd rather just keep it on my bed. All right, settle down, Perfect Rotation. No need to call him that name. You don't like him. We get it. Settle down, Cody AV. All right, corner game is a win. Winner, winner. Now let's go, Louse. Come on, Louse. Need a little fucking goal out of you. Come on.
Jazz gets upset because his life savings are in this cryptocurrency stuff.
Yeah, Jazz, why do you care so much about Bitcoin? I think he's just letting you know. That's all. Thanks for reading me something I read 4 hours ago.
So, Jazz, so how am I lying, Jazz? What am I making up? That the $300 million is missing.
Maybe it's some of his money. I don't know.
What part is a lie, Jazz, of $300 million being lost from Ethereum? Well, people don't have the money, do they?
He said it's all there. They aren't going. I guess the story is not true, maybe.
Well, I guess the president is talking about this and telling people to chill out.
Who put this out? CNBC or something?
They're calling it a hard fork, blah, blah. They're saying it can roll back the clock like the bug never happened. Whatever.
I don't understand what it is. I don't know. Too much for me. I just keep it in a money clip.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something that
Russell said he can't pay for hookers with Bitcoin. Good point. They have Square, though, I think.
No, you can't pay for, I'm sure, yeah, there's probably a hooker in Vegas or two that'll take Bitcoin. There's probably a hooker or two.
They take Square. I know that. Okay, Cody.
All this stuff, you know, the money is there. They can't access it. So, yeah, that's great, Jazz.
Bruce Chad must be loving this discussion.
So that the money's there, but they can't access it. So then the money's not there. I'm just telling you, I don't trust the cyber gods. I don't trust the internet. The internet, come on, you can't trust anyone on the internet.
Fuck! Fucking Vietnam scored. Fuck me. God damn it, Blouse, you fuckers. I hate this shit. Why am I doing this? Thanks a lot, Gabe.
This Asia soccer shit's a fucking...
Yeah, it sucks. At least I won that corners bet. Thank God.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Are you taking a break or what?
Yeah. We'll take a quick break. What did I win? I'm surprised. I didn't think I had anything. I just got. What did I win?
Your corners bet.
Oh, I won over 192 in Memphis and Portland in game.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Ty Rich, I've always been a degenerate. I always bet on a lot of this stuff. This is how you make money. You got to sit here and just grind away, buddy.
All right. So yeah, give me a quick minute, and a big man will stay here. We'll go to about 1 o'clock Eastern here this evening. So we got a couple of. We'll take some questions. Maybe we'll talk a little Soccer World Cup, and we'll talk about Doc Holliday as well. Actually,
sounds good. All right, ask away. Questions for the big man. A couple minutes here. We got Gabe taking a little break here. What do you want to know about me? What do you want to know? I know all of you are just riveted to know about me. What do you got? Ask me whatever you want. Open season. Any feels tomorrow? Wow. There's no soccer right now. The international break's going on. Let me look here. You might have to tune in though to the round table. I mentioned today I like Toledo. I mean, I can't say I don't. I like Toledo. Yeah, later in the week I'll have some, but not right tomorrow. My name's Jeff. Okay, you're just okay. My favorite color? I don't have one. Green. Money be green, motherfuckers. The game's tomorrow. Shit, in the MAC. Favorite Eagle of all time? Seth Joyner or Brian Westbrook. But Seth Joyner, he's a little before my time, but watching him when I was a kid, kind of, those kind of guys. Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook. My favorite rapper of all time is Beanie Siegel. Definitely. Average bet size, 250. My favorite character in The Sopranos? Wow. I have a lot. I mean, other than Tony, Phil Leotardo, Johnny Sack, Corrado. I have a lot of favorite characters. Paulie Walnuts. Favorite Wu-Tang member? I don't know, and that's a tough one because they were Staten Island. They were kind of. Yeah, that was a little before I got into rap, really, to be honest. But probably Ghostface Killah. I mean, I liked him in his solo career too. So, I would probably say Ghostface Killah. Favorite character in The Wire? Probably Proposition Joe or Colvin. Colvin was a really underrated character. Tits or a fat ass? Definitely a fat ass. That's just because of the women I go after. I like Latinas and black chicks, so that's definitely the thing. Best betting sport? College basketball. Slim Charles is a great character. The Wire is the greatest show ever. I mean, how can you miss it? How can't you miss it? Favorite Goodfella? No one. I'm not a big fan of that movie. It's really based Goodfellas on a fraud. I mean, Henry Hill's a lackey. He wasn't a real. No, not BBWs, dude. I like hourglass figures. With a little little bit of cake in the back. Favorite NCAA future bet? Kansas 14-1. Are you a Flyers fan? Yeah, sure, of course. I'm not a big hockey fan, but yeah, I definitely root for the Flyers. Favorite NBA player right now? Joel Embiid or Giannis? Do I like Black Mass? Yeah, it was a great movie. Big Johnny Depp fan. Best SBR employee? I'll actually be honest here. My favorite SBR employee that works down there currently. I mean, I actually like Zach. I definitely like Zach. Cynthia's cool. I actually got to be honest. I like Larry. Actually, Zach Larry Hoover. I'm a big fan of his. I like him a lot. We talk a lot about a lot of stuff. I like him a lot. He's a cool guy. So I'd definitely probably say Larry for sure. Lauren Shahadi. Yeah, she's hot. Sure. I agree. MLB Network. Best sports place for a game. The Palestra, West Philadelphia, Penn University. Do you bet hockey? No, never. Do you remember the Philadelphia Wings? Oh, of course. Yeah, at the Wachovia Center back in the day. Sure. Yeah, actually, I've talked to him about that Larry Hoover name. He didn't know that Larry Hoover was a high-level drug dealer. Khalil Tate for Heisman at 80-1. No, not going to happen. If he would have played at the beginning of the season, maybe, but no way. My thoughts on the bag? I don't have any thoughts on him. He does his thing as I do mine. I wish him the best in everything he does. I don't interact with Jimmy much. I mean, he has his show. We have ours. But he's down in Costa Rica living a life. What can I say bad about him? Are there any chicks that work at SBR? Yeah, there are plenty. I'll take Zach, another one of my favorites, Deb. She's one of my favorite people at SBR. She's been very helpful to me in my career at SBR. I've known her for a while. My favorite Las Vegas sportsbook. I've never been there, so I can't comment on that. My picks for the World Cup. I have plenty of picks, which I think Gabe and I will be talking about here in a little bit. But yeah, I don't have any favorite LV sports books. Favorite Rocky opponent. I don't know. Probably Apollo Creed. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that movie personally, but it's Philly, so you gotta like it, right? But no, I actually really liked the Creed, the movie that came out a year or two ago. A good friend of mine was in it, actually, Tone Trump. He got punched by the main character in the movie. Philly's next pitching coach, I don't know. I'd imagine Gabe Kapler will grab somebody. I don't know who. He's a smart guy though. Favorite jersey I own. I have a Rasheed Wallace Simon Gratz jersey when he went to high school. Simon Gratz to high school in Philly, and I have a Rasheed Wallace throwback. South Point and Westgate are the best. There you go. Jimmy Vaccaro is a hero of mine in this business, so I would agree. That would probably be where I would go. Why do some of the guys from Costa Rica, SBR, live in Costa Rica? Because that's where it's based, and that's where they want to be.
2-0 Vietnam, big man.
Thank you. How much do you bench? I don't know. Probably a lot, though. I haven't looked lately. But I'm pretty strong. Favorite offshore bookmaker. But I like most of the European ones more. Who will come out of the AFC West? Probably
Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why that took me that long. Yeah, the Chiefs. Jamie Moyer, that's a great choice for pitching coach. I don't know if he would do it, but yeah, that's a great idea. Sure. He's from the area too, David H. He's from Souderton, so that would be a great decision. Sure.
Just settle down, Bruce Chad.
Oh yeah. Bruce, we're done talking about that.
Yeah. Like you and Jazz go have a Bitcoin party. Fuck.
Bring all the Bitcoin you want.
Yeah, sign up at UAge or play with some Bitcoin, Bruce Chad.
How did we start talking about Bitcoin though on the show?
I brought up there was $300 missing in Ethereum.
Well, I mean on the show earlier. We're talking about Grand Canyon, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Bruce Chad came up.
My favorite box.
I think we said that Bruce is actually on fire recently. But his winning streak's come to an end. Bruce has brought nothing to the table this evening positive.
He's actually said some funny stuff, though, lately on the show.
Yeah, lately he's been good, but I don't know. I think he's high or something tonight.
Yeah, Lobestock, catch it. You are high tonight, Bruce Chad. You've said LOL about 50 times tonight.
Yeah, what's your deal, Bruce?
Yes, shut up, Jax J. Shut up, man. You're such a douche.
Thoughts on the 3 top 10 matchups in college football? I like Auburn. I like Auburn. I like Notre Dame. And I want to like TCU, but I know I'll get fucking screwed. But I don't trust Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't either. But I think they're going to beat TCU and win by double digits.
I'm sure Big Man's a big Miami backer.
Love him. Love them. They're covering this weekend. They're gonna win the game. I love it. I'm all over the U, baby.
Settle down, Jazz. If you don't talk about something besides fucking Bitcoin, you're getting the fucking gun. Come on, fuck.
So, Jazz, do you just not like people that don't use Bitcoin? Because I don't give a flying fuck about it.
Don't ask him about it, dude. He's going to talk about it for 10 minutes.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't ask him about it.
His jersey, he's wearing a Raptor jersey, aren't you, Gabe?
What does my jersey say?
Kia.
Say, it's a Eastern Conference. It's a Kyle Lowry jersey.
He had no lines yet for the college games this week, so no, I don't have any picks.
It's a Kyle Lowry Eastern Conference.
Why did I think that was purple? It looks purple to me. Sorry.
No, that's blue.
Don't go down the Bitcoin wormhole. We already did, unfortunately.
Do you guys post pics somewhere?
See you later.
He wants to fade us.
He was saying shit earlier also.
Well, his name is FC Troll.
We gave him a chance, but, I mean, sooner or later you got to.
I don't know. He really hurt my feelings with that one.
Nah, he was calling people shit earlier.
That's the best, though. That's the best, though. Like, the best, though, is that, like, trolls really think they matter in some weird way. Like, I don't know if they get some sort of rush at home or something, but when they realize, like, when this show ends, I'm just going to take a piss, fucking. I'm not thinking about them. You know what I mean? Like, really, I don't know. Maybe some people get rattled by it and shit, but I really don't give a shit.
Also, it's probably not a good idea if you're going to troll to come in and call yourself the FC Troll.
Well, that's why I gave him credit earlier, because he admitted it.
Did you buy that jersey with Bitcoin, Gabe?
All right. You know what, Russell? I haven't really kicked many people out tonight, if anyone, a few people, but I will just on the way out. Maybe we should just boot the whole chat, big man.
All of you. See ya. Get out of here.
Delete the chat. Delete the whole chat.
You actually can hide the chat, so just hide it.
Holy fuck, Bruce. Fuck.
What is wrong with you, Bruce Chat? You're on something tonight, Bruce.
Fuck, man.
Now Jazz is a Kings fan. He's going to go buy Kings gear.
Yeah. We know. The Sacramento Kings, I know. They take Bitcoin. Fuck. I think the Denver Broncos do, too, for the record.
Do the Eagles?
A couple of teams. The Eagles,
Big baller brand.
No, I'm sure the Eagles don't. The Eagles are an old school mob run team. They ain't taking no Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, they don't. We don't fuck with that shit. Big baller brand takes it though. I think.
Big baller will take anything. Fuck. Big baller.
They'll take rubles. They'll take
free legal fees.
They'll take yen. They'll take anything.
Yeah, they could use some yen right now. What do you think LeVar's telling them? Look, and listen, man, I'll give you 500 pairs of fucking big ballers. We're making them right down the street.
If you could tell me what the Chinese currency is, Gabe, I'll be impressed.
Come on, it's the yen.
It's not. The yen is Japanese, I believe.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
I'm pretty smart, Gabe. I don't know if you know that. I'm a genius. I was actually given a 136 IQ when I was in 9th grade.
You and Donald Trump.
No, we used to have it when we used to have this show, Gabe. We had a segment. We called it "Baffle the Big Man."
Yeah, the yuan.
Users would send in questions.
I know how much a yuan is worth, though. I know that 650 yuan is like $100.
There you go.
1,300 yuan is $100. I knew that.
There you go. Yen is the Japanese currency. Ruble is Russian. I can.
What about Iraq?
Dinar.
Yeah, good call.
Actually,
I had a lawyer once that told me. I was in court once with a guy.
It's actually a useless currency, though. No,
I know. I had a lawyer once tell me. He looked over. He goes, "You want to make money?" He goes, "Invest in a dinar." Fuck.
Yeah, everyone says that.
He goes, "You get it for 1 cent." He's like, "Whatever."
I used to work at a bank, and a guy, this customer used to come in and always tell me that. He would like hand me. He's like, "Go buy Iraqi dinar. It's going to be worth something someday." I said, "All right, dude. First of all, we can't use it because it's banned on the. It's on the OFAC list. You can't. you cannot bank with like anything Iraqi. So it's like,
I know.
why would I ever use this? Like,
you're right. It's never gonna get anywhere.
He's like, this is $1 million of dinar. I'm like,
the lawyer told me too. My lawyer was like the head of the B'nai B'rith fucking Jewish Association. Good lawyer to have, obviously. So
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So he even told me, he goes, yeah, once they rebuilt the country. I was like thinking at the time, like, rebuild the country. Fuck, they've been fighting in the Middle East for 8,000 years. Like,
yeah,
rebuild. Like, what are you talking about?
No, actually, Gabe, it's interesting. I was actually talking with a delivery guy recently about the Middle East. If there were no wars going on, it would be a fascinating place to visit. It's beautiful there. That's where civilization was started, really.
I used to have a Lebanese girlfriend, actually. She was hot. I'm down with that. Yeah.
Like you imagine going into the mountains of Afghanistan? I mean, it's beautiful.
My stepfather did. The guy married my mother. He's actually got pictures up there, like literally in the mountains where they fight now and shit.
Yeah,
before it was hippies and fucking mountain climbers and drug smugglers.
Sure.
That's where all the hash of the world and obviously heroin and
opium
comes from.
Yeah.
And it used to just be a sort of drug smuggling place. The Afghani people were known as good people. And, good, honorable people to deal with and shit like that as far as in the drug industry. And, that's what ruined the hashish business. After 9/11, they couldn't send the hash out. They have so much hash there. They used to just put it on boats. And they would just send it to Montreal. And all the drugs that go to New York would go to Montreal first, actually. And even Philly would go to Montreal first because of the port. So it would go to Montreal first, all the hash. And they'd send it on credit even, They'd say, all right, listen, we're going to send off this much, sell as much as you can, because some of it would get busted along the way, or they would put out sort of ships they'd let get busted, sort of let the cops have their press conference and shit like that. And then meanwhile, there's 4 other ships going the other way.
On the table, right?
Yeah, the Mexicans, that's the trick, right? Oh, look, the DA, we got a big truck.
See, we're tough on crime here.
It's a gift. It's part of the game, Yeah. Here's your truck. Fold your press conference. Meanwhile, we got 12 other trucks coming through.
And little do we know, the stuff that we have on the table there, you're going to get all that back too. We just want to, No, I know.
Iran, guys, before in the old days.
Yeah.
Iran used to be like, no, it was, exactly, tourist. But, Lebanon, man. What's the capital of Lebanon? Beirut.
Sure.
Beirut used to be like Hollywood, man. Fucking theaters and like plays and like arts and like big time shit.
The Pashtun culture in Afghanistan. I mean, it's extremely welcoming. Like, as far as, obviously, if we weren't involved with these wars and stuff, it's interesting. I mean, they're extremely welcoming people. They'll protect you. It was, if you've ever seen that movie with Mark Wahlberg, Lone Survivor, that's a true story. I mean, they protected him from the Taliban. It'd be interesting to go there and see that kind of stuff.
Everything in Hollywood movies are true. Anything that's in a Wahlberg movie is actual life, without a doubt.
Could you buy hash with Bitcoin? These people, man, are fucking.
Yeah, I booted him.
You got rid of him.
Yeah, he's an idiot, that guy. I knew he was a troller. I could read between the lines with the trolls, but like I said, I just do the show, and I can't obsess with this shit.
He asked me earlier to come, if he came to Philly, could we get some pussy together? And I'm just like, what? Like,
yeah, the guy's an idiot. What we could do? We have a lot of views, right? I see we're getting 3,000-4,000 views a night. You're gonna get a couple of idiots along the way.
Yeah, you're gonna get a couple freaks for sure.
Get a couple of fools along the way. All right, so. Matt H, actually, obviously a real person. Matt H says, good idea. Phillies in Toronto, August 24, perfect time to unveil a Doc statue. Well, these fuckheads in Toronto will take years to figure this out. Like I said earlier, no joke. There's only one statue outside the stadium in Toronto, and it's of the owner. Like, no shit. It's of the owner. But Doc Holliday, I know you're not a Phillies fan, but growing up in Philly, obviously, I know he was a big part of the Phillies organization. I think of him more as a Blue Jay, but he was part of the Phillies as well, and beloved in Philadelphia. I know the Phillies organization is rocked pretty hard by this, and people in Toronto are. I'm telling you, big man. Toronto's a good sports city. So you got an NBA team, NHL. You got everything except the NFL here. And I can't think of one athlete that was really more beloved by fans. Vince Carter, probably the biggest. Vince Carter with the Raptors was fucking massive. Matt Sundin with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Swedish guy. He was like the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs for like 15, 16 years or something like that. He's a very respected guy. I'm not just talking about popular, like, he sells jerseys and he's a popular guy. I'm talking about a fabric of the community and larger than life sort of character type guy. That's Doc Holliday. And he retired as Jay, came back, always beloved. And the thing is, you see every comment of every ball player that talks about Doc Holliday all says the same thing. Say hardest worker that they've ever seen in their life. Like, this guy was fucking nuts, man. Like, I saw Chase Utley saying today with the Phillies, he said, first time I ever met Doc Holliday was in spring training, and it was 5:45 in the morning, and I met this guy for the first time, and he said he was soaking wet. And so he said to Doc Holliday, is it raining outside? And Doc said, no, I just finished my workout. And I was at 5:45, and Utley said he just woke up type shit. Like, Doc Holliday was already going. Like, Doc Holliday's workout regimen and routines and the dedication to his craft were second to none. You got an honest effort from this guy every time he took the hill. We were just watching the NBA and saying, look at these guys. They don't even give a shit. Doc Holliday gave a shit every time he pitched.
Well, I thought what was so amazing about him that I didn't really ever know. I didn't know that when he first came into the major leagues, he was bad. I mean, he was optioned to Class A, Dunedin or whatever it is.
Yeah, Dunedin, yep.
Single A. I mean, the sheer hard work. He was such a horse, Gabe. I remember, even in Philly, I mean, what an amazing pitcher. I mean, 67 complete games in his career. I mean, complete game nowadays is like amazing. I mean, it never happens.
Only two guys in Major League Baseball history. Only two guys pitched no-hitters in their first playoff appearance. Don Larson in the epic perfect game, and Doc Holliday.
I think one of his greatest feats was when he pitched a no-hitter against the Reds in 2010-ish.
Yeah, that was the game. That's the one.
Right. That's the one you're talking about. Yeah, that was – and then the perfect game against the Marlins. In that perfect game against the Marlins, what I found to be most amazing about that game was he had only 2 innings where he had more than 12 pitches in the game. I mean, it was such a dominant – it was the most dominating thing I've ever seen in baseball in a long time. Just an amazing – and for what I heard, I mean, he always seemed super nice, like in interviews, and he did a lot around – I know in this city, I'm sure he did a lot in Toronto as well. I don't think I heard anyone say anything bad about him ever. But then I look at, kind of just his career. I mean, this is his time. He retired. He was enjoying, his life with his kids, and he found a hobby that he enjoyed. I mean, his father was a pilot. If you research him, his father was a pilot, and he said his whole life he'd always wanted to own a plane. And there was actually a really eerie video. He posted a video a couple weeks ago of him flying in the plane, and it's super eerie, but it's a shame. It really is. It's so many pitchers have passed away. Corey Lytle, he was a Philly. Roy Halladay, Fernandez, Ventura. It's a shame. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes older people pass, and it's like, oh, like how did this happen? And it's a shock, etc.
Right.
It's like, well, some of these guys, like the musicians and shit, it's like, well, the guy's fucking been around for 62 years and partied pretty hard, so caught up, and that's what happens. But I brought it up earlier too. If you're Doc Holliday, the guy loved life. You know what I mean? Coaching his kids' team, coaching youth teams. You'll see a ton of pictures of him at hospitals with kids and stuff. Like, he really, really gave a lot back to communities with kids, and only 40 years old, big man. 40 years old, a rich guy, enjoying life, worked so hard, and not, somebody that seemed to be enjoying retirement despite the fact he was so, addicted to working hard. A guy enjoying life, all that money and his kids and his family, and taken away from his family as well. Very, very disappointing.
even yesterday that he was actually at the Phillies spring training area talking to young prospects, yesterday. I mean, it seemed like he really cared about the human kind. I mean, many people don't. I mean, but it seemed like he did. He generally cared about other people. He was revered in this town. I mean, I remember a time where he was baseball in this town, from that 2010-ish time to, like 13 when he retired. But yeah, it's very sad. I mean, he was one of the true, like, good people in baseball. I mean, there are a lot of great people in baseball, but he was a hell of a player. I mean, he was a guy that, I'm not a Phillies guy like another team, but I enjoy seeing the Phillies do well. I think the fans deserve it. He was a guy that, I mean, you wanted to see do well, and he was a horse, Gabe. I mean, I actually heard a story recently that he would, when he was younger, like when he was just starting out, he would go into the clubhouse and say, like, "Hey, can you put me into the rotation so I can face like the better teams?" Like he wanted to face the Yankees. He wanted to face, the best teams. He was a horse. He attacked. He went at you. You can't get many better than Roy Halladay over the last 10 years, Gabe, really. I mean, I don't think there's many.
Yeah. Here's a letter. It's kind of sad. He wrote a letter to the Toronto Blue Jays. My wife, Brandy, says, sons Brandon and Ryan, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Blue Jays organization, incredible fans in the city of Toronto. I feel blessed to have been part of the Blue Jays since 1995 and extremely thankful for the opportunities I was provided throughout my past 15 years here. There have been so many people within the organization that have been a wonderful, significant aspect of my life. See, a lot of stuff, you read these things and it's just written by some fucking, agent. But this is real with him. Toronto will forever have a special place in my heart. The memories will last a lifetime. So will my gratitude. Best regards, Roy. Yeah, real shame, man. Real class act, fuck.
Yeah, you can't get a classier guy, I don't think. I mean, he was it with so many athletes nowadays that like these fucking like Josh Gordon, like people like him that just take their
not Josh Gordon. I was gonna say, how about Kurt Schilling? Like Kurt Schilling,
or any of them. Well, anybody.
Kurt just Schilling, making every opportunity to bitch on Breitbart about
shit,
to just
whine about every person that he just doesn't like.
Bitch.
I'm just gonna bitch and whine about people. Why don't you take a page out of people like Roy Halladay's book? That it doesn't matter who you are. I'm gonna be nice to you. And then you see pictures of his kids, him and his. I mean, them kids are. They're young. They're gonna have to do without their dad forever. But it's very sad. You want to make. You want to cry. Really, it's very sad.
It's a cold world.
Yeah,
it is. It's a cold world. That's why we talk about it when we lose a bet and stuff. To put things in perspective, right? We're lucky to be alive. Doesn't mean we want to waste our life losing bets every night, but we're lucky to be alive. But R.I.P.
And Gabe, that's the thing. One other thing, these are all human beings. Like we look at athletes and we're like, well, they're just an athlete. We'll forget about them eventually. These are people. They have families. They have parents. They have, they have the same things that we do. And,
that's the thing. Yeah, they're not exactly. All right, before we let you go, on a lighter note, we'll end every night. Last night the show ended depressed, and Sunday night Betcast did. I swear, every night, last 2 nights, man. Last night too.
We lost the Betcast. That's why. By the way, Gabe, a couple U19 games just started. Nepal and Oman and South Korea, Malaysia. So
I'm tapping out.
Yes, so am I. I've already lost enough money on this shit show.
The Ric Flair 30 for 30 aired tonight. The wrestling legend Ric Flair has an ESPN 30 for 30. People have really been looking forward to it. I didn't get an opportunity to see it yet, but there's a highlight here in the Charlotte Observer, where he's from, about the key things that were discussed. A couple of funny things, actually. All right. His obsession with women. He has 4 ex-wives. It's a good line. Let me tell you something. If you're wrestling in Hutchinson, Kansas, and you're going to spend the night there, I'm going to find something to do. And I'm not going to do it alone.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Here's a good one. Asked on how many women Ric Flair has slept with, said, I don't know, maybe 10,000. He said, as far as marriage and monogamy, he goes, I took it serious for about 1 day. I mean, I tried, but I was always miserable. All right. So yeah, he says he banged 10,000 chicks.
Nice.
It's a good story about being wasted, like constantly. He's talking about drinking. It's like Josh Gordon, actually. Where it is. All right, here it is. All right, Ric Flair on initially visiting a sports psychologist in the 1980s. He asked, how much do you drink in a day? He said, well, I'll drink at least 10 beers, probably have about 5 mixed drinks. And he said, well, how many days a week do you do that? I said, every day. He said, well, what do you mean every day? I said, well, I work every day. I drink beer in the car. I get to the hotel, then I drink vodka. He came out of his chair and he said, you drink every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you've been doing this for how long? I said, well, let me see. It's 1989, and I started in 1972, so let's do the math. Almost 20 years. He said, that's not possible. I said, oh, yeah, it is. By the time I got through with this son of a bitch, he was the one lying on the couch, and I was the one on the chair. I was the one talking to him.
Interesting human being.
Former wrestler Baby Doll, Nicola Roberts on Ric Flair's drinking. There was hardly a day that he went without having at least a few drinks. You can be an alcoholic and be fully functional. I never saw him show up at the show inebriated, but he could drink. How he still has a liver, I don't know. And here's a good one from Snoop Dogg. Hip hop artist Snoop Dogg. As a kid growing up and watching Ric Flair, he was very inspirational to myself and a lot of other hip hop artists because he represented what we wanted to be. We wanted to be Ric Flair. We wanted to be flamboyant and kiss, stealing, wheeling, and dealing. We wanted to be all of that. He was part of our culture and our life. That's why we love him and cherish him. We've always held him very high in the black community because Rick is one of us. It's funny.
That makes sense.
White guy from Charlotte, one of us, but goes to show how big Ric Flair actually is. And finally, in closing, here's an interesting thing as far as Hulk Hogan, who I've lost a lot of respect for over the years, but I'll give credit to this. Hulk Hogan, when asked about how he and Ric Flair match up in the all-time wrestling history books. And let's be real, when you think of wrestling, big man, and I don't think you're a big wrestling guy, but when you think of wrestling, who do you think of first? Hulk Hogan, right?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, Hulk Hogan is he's the biggest name in wrestling history. There's no dispute,
brother.
Yeah, he is the biggest name in wrestling fucking history.
Sure.
But interesting though. So Hulk Hogan asked head to head, you and Ric Flair, in the legendary status, says Ric Flair has had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 1 hour matches. I've never done one. He's 10 times better than I am. It's a no brainer. I've got a certain thing that works and I've got a few varieties for it. I used to joke, I've got plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. Which match do you want to do? And there's millions of ways to have a wrestling match with millions of wrestlers, but Rick's just so much better. Some people point to me and go, oh my God, you changed the business. You did this, you did that. I always say, no, you guys mean next to Ric Flair. So Hulk Hogan says that Ric Flair is the greatest of all time for the record. So nice to see Hulk Hogan pay respects to Rick.
Very much so. I didn't know who Ric Flair was until recently, but I do now.
You don't know. You never watch wrestling, huh?
No. I never have. I never got into it. I don't understand it. But I know it's very popular. People love it. And that's what's great about sports. We all have our things that, like, a lot of people don't like soccer. I love it. I think it's the most amazing thing ever. But I get it's not for everyone. It's kind of like Star Wars for me. I never understood the love affair with Star Wars. But he is a very flamboyant guy. I do agree with what Snoop Dogg said. I think he is very important to the urban community. I mean, it was cool to dress like that after the fact.
That just shows how cool he is. That's it. Yeah. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
What's funny? I was never the biggest Ric Flair fan. I always liked him.
Right.
I saw him. He told me to fuck off once in real life, which I'm actually proud of. I did the woo to him. I said, hey, Rick, woo. And he said, fuck off. It was outside the Bell Center.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he say? Fuck off.
Yeah, he said, just fuck off. He hears that all day. Right? So
that's great.
Yeah. Stone Cold gave me and my buddy the finger once outside, too. Same thing. So Ric Flair, the legend. I'm going to check that 30 for 30 out, actually. I'm not addicted to 30-30s. People are like, you got to watch the 30 for 30. You got to watch the 30 for 30. I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking watch it one day. Chill out.
Have you ever watched, I mean, you know that guy Tommy Morrison, the boxer?
The boxer, yeah.
Yeah, they did one on him. It was really good.
Yeah, they're all good. Fuck.
Yeah.
They're all good. There's one on my Buffalo Bills. People are like, oh, you got to watch the Bills. Like, dude, I lost fucking about $118,000 on those 4 combined Super Bowls. I don't need to relive it. Like, to me, it's not entertainment. I'm not going to watch that. I'll admit the Fab 5 one has brought a tear to my eye. And it more than once, actually. Like, yeah, I lived every moment of that shit. So reliving it was just too much. And same thing with the Bills. I don't take sports as seriously now, though, as I did then. I just bet on it. Before, I was more emotional about this shit.
FBI's in here, Gabe. Uh-oh.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's the time of the night, Dad, now when we're getting to
I'm sure the FBI would say giggity goo.
Fuckface night at the end of the night here.
Yeah.
All right, so we got college football tomorrow night, big man, more action.
You've banned Jesus and the FBI.
Good.
God and the FBI.
Yeah, I like Jesus. Jesus is all right by me. It's the son. Jesus is all right by me. All right, so we got Toledo and Ohio tomorrow. Big game here. Hard not like Toledo's just a better football team.
Huge game in the MAC. Both teams really need it.
Kent State and Western Michigan. Western Michigan laying a boatload, looking to lock in a bowl spot tomorrow. And we got Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan. Big game there. Short price here. What's up with that? Why is Central Michigan a 2-point dog in this game?
I think because people
big injuries. I haven't done my capping yet here. But.
I think Eastern Michigan is slightly better than they are. I'm surprised they're a favorite. I think it's more or less pick 'em type of game. But yeah, I have to look into it. That's an issue.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eastern Michigan have lost 6 of their last 7 games straight up. Central Michigan have won 3 of their last 4 games straight up.
But
they're 1 game away. I think people look at this, they're 7-2 against the spread. Yeah, whatever, fuck. Because they're fucking big underdogs every week.
I wouldn't lay points with Eastern Michigan. Getting points, if you're getting 6 points, I would definitely take them in any circumstance. But I wouldn't really lay points them against. This game is decided within. Yeah, I'm not laying points to Eastern Michigan. They're a good team to take points with, but you're right. I'm not laying points with them.
I like Central Michigan. I'm taking them. Central Michigan. I'm going to read after we end this show right now. I'm going to read up on this a little bit, but I'll be breaking this down with Mark Lawrence tomorrow. Big man will be up tomorrow with Donnie Rightside. You got soccer talk tomorrow too? You got a busy day?
We got the round table at 12:30. Ian Cameron, Drew, me, and Donnie Rightside. No soccer. We'll be doing champion or World Cup qualifiers a little bit later in the week, so look out for that. Gabe, wanted to point one thing out. 6 people, me and 5 other people on our soccer show that we have, we're up 115.5 units in 11 weeks combined. That's
unbelievable. Yeah, I retweeted that. Great job.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Unbelievable.
We love our soccer, man. We love it.
Do I ever run to the Iron Sheik? No, I haven't seen him since that time we got drunk with him.
There was actually just a video posted of the
Patriots 51.
The Ball family.
You kick me out. Come on, Gabe remembers me. Real progressive.
Gabe, you got to see this.
What happened?
The Ball family. They just posted a video of all of them walking out of the hotel. And LeVar looks, he doesn't want to talk to anyone, it looks like. They're heading on a sightseeing tour of Shanghai while the reality crew films.
Wow.
I guess you got to go on with life, right?
It's great for reality TV. Like you said, it's good for business.
It's only going to help business. Mark my words.
No, you're not banned real progressive. Just don't annoy people with that fucking Patriots shit fucking all night.
Yeah, because all you talk about is the Patriots. It's annoying, dude. I mean, you can't keep doing that crap.
We get it. You're a Patriot fan. But if you just post the Patriots won the Super Bowl fucking 82 times in a row, you're just annoying people, all right?
Yeah, correct.
All right. Other than that, great stuff, big man. You're on your own. I'm on my own. We're all on our own.
I lost money in Asia. Hey, free Meek Mill.
Except fucking Jazz and Bruce Chad. They're going to go to sleep fucking on a big pile of Bitcoin.
Yeah, streaming of it. Free Meek Mill.
Free Meek Mill. Free LeAngelo. See you later, big man.
See you, buddy.
All right, guys. We appreciate everybody tuning in here this evening. Like I always say, I'm not going to go long, and I go long. Fuck. So we appreciate people tuning in here this evening. As I stated, I got a heavy lean with Central Michigan tomorrow. Central Michigan have always been good to me. I'm going to dig deeper into this game. I don't know why they're 2-point underdogs. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to kick the tires on this, but we'll be on live tomorrow at noon on the radio, Fantasy Sports Radio Network. Be on TV, 2 o'clock, Fantasy Sport Television Network. We encourage you, if you're going to lay it down, go over to sportsbookreview.com. Pick out a sportsbook that's right for you. Click the banner and the link that's on sportsbookreview.com. Check out the roundtable tomorrow with the boys and the videos all day long. And you get free picks all day over to sbrpicks.com. You know the drill. We'll see you tomorrow. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours. Later.